Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to this, the 30th episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Benjamin of Clan Malkavian.
Philip playing Jim Roy Woods of Clan Gangrel.
So I apologise in advance for the quality of my throat. It's getting over a chest thing. Anyway, on to the recap since we weren't here last week.
Okay, so last episode, Sabine was very pleased with Katia, and she offered the services of an exorcist to help deal with the crossed hands ghost problem. Sabine and Katia then performed rituals on Benjamin's blood. Notes are passed around the table, and then in character, Sabine expresses concern about Katia's coterie mate being a Diablerist.
Moses and Benjamin go see Edmund. Things get tense. Moses notices Edmund is reluctant to let them leave, at least initially. He also notices Edmund is wearing gloves, and beneath the gloves and beneath the leather, his knuckles are feeling a little bit skeletal and sharp, like needles, or something worse. After they leave, he tries to stop them, and Benjamin refuses to stop, so we flee.
Jim, however, gets a call from his sire Alicia, and she agrees to train him in return for a boon.
Later, the coterie meet and decide to split up until the crossed hands is safe and Edmund is less murderous. Jim and Moses engage in light social combat, and then we all jump into a downtime period for about 2.5 months or so.
Yeah.
So initially, Jim feeds and heals a lot. Like quite a lot. Alicia comes and trains him, and by the end of the 2 months, he's almost fully restored. I'm still throwing on the track. And much to DS James' frustration, he does not move against Alan Burr at this time.
Moses learns about the duties of being a hound. He looks for Lucy and Susan, but they have vanished. Her report to the authorities left doubts about poor Susan's mental health. And she has also stopped going to work. Lucy has not been seen at school either. And there was some mention of her being ill, Lucy being ill. So Moses starts tracking them down.
In the meanwhile, Katia begins the social climbing, aided by Sabine. She also sees a movie with Will, and employs Tony Giovanni to rid the crossed hands of its apparently 3 ghosts. Who's the third?
I'll find out now.
Benjamin is found by Edmund, despite his best efforts, and is given the deed to the Visions of Voltaire, a very prestigious gallery that was previously owned by Michael Chase. He decides to go into business with Amelia and set up a new gallery. He also spends more time with Sabine and Katia and tries his best to understand how kindred society works. And then after the downtime, we moved into the beginning of a new court. So Miles Wright is the new Master of Elysium at the Elysium Club. The mysterious, I should say, Miles Wright. Asylum Club, what did I say?
Elysium.
Boop. We'll edit that out.
Take 2.
Sabine helps Katia integrate into court, and she and Katia help Benjamin integrate into court.
Moses is the security the prince deserves.
And Jim stays the farther fuck away from it as he can.
So the prince makes some announcements, and principally amongst those are the people that died during the Sabbat
Which
attacks.
are 12 kindred we don't know, plus Michael Chase, Edward Colbert, Sebastian Curley, and Paul Difford. The new Primogens being Lisa Kenning, Toreador, Sabine Wick, Tremere, and Edmund St. Clair, Malkavian.
Oh, a new puppy hound, Moses.
Woof,
That is
woof.
your official title now.
Yes,
I'm a puppy hound.
you are a puppy.
Let me grow into the role.
Sure.
Woof.
As long as your role as an animal in this show doesn't follow the trend.
Only for my master. Only for Jacqueline Master.
So,
I mean, I would do it even if I weren't a hound. You just said like, drop. I'll drop. Roll over. She's
Hey there.
scary enough as it is.
she's lovely.
She is. She's holy.
Yeah. So you be if you annoy her. So, around the time of 2300 hours, on the 17th of August, you have all found yourselves in the Asylum Club on its premiere night, its opening night. And as you've mentioned, Miles Wright, this mysterious kindred who people know to be a recent arrival in the city but know little else about him, is the new keeper of Elysium. There are no kindred here that seems to be addressed in such a way which would suggest he's the keeper of Elysium. But then again, there's quite a few kindred here that you guys have glimpsed at Corpse, but you don't know by name. There are quite a few people that you do spot, that you do know. And in the aftermath of everyone giving their full undivided attention to Prince Emrys as he is making his decrees, introducing people of new standing, yourselves included, most of you. Once he steps down from the stage, everybody begins integrating again. There's quite a few ghouls that are there. There are a few individuals who are not kindred that you can tell based upon the pallor of their skin. But by and large, you get the feeling that this place has been opened primarily just to kindred. So, now that you're all stepped down from stage, what are you doing, guys?
And I just walk near Gideon and the constable to see if I have any orders.
The constable, at the moment that everything's been officiated, everything's been done, she has stepped off. And she has stepped into one of the back rooms of the building. You know it's one of the back rooms because it has gigantic letters, private, written across it. But she just steps through it. Gideon, however, is still sat there. And as he watches you approach, he just goes, "How does it feel?"
The same, but slightly worse.
So not the same.
Slightly worse. I mean, someone laughed, but I think it was Plucky Jake.
He glances over towards the wall where Plucky Jake is. And whereas before he had just had in the last court, he had just had the details of a smart suit drawn onto a shirt, he now has a ridiculously oversized bow tie. One of those ones that you'd get in a joke shop, which is purposely done to be obnoxiously in your face. But he also has what looks to be a shirt which is ripped from the back, which shows a very prominent spine jutting out of grey, taut, skeletal flesh. And he seems to be delighting in moving over towards kindred which are clearly repulsed by him, but unwilling or unable to move away because he is the Primogen. And he is quite clearly noticing the discomfort, and every time that they start getting more and more discomforted, he steps in closer. He moves in closer. And then once or twice he goes up, you manage to overhear as he steps in towards, based upon their dress, and if you wanted to adhere to stereotypes, it's probably a toreador, steps in very close, leans in and starts whispering something to the toreador. And then he leans out, and then he starts moving in again, and they flinch. And the moment they flinch, he just looks at them and goes, "Well, that's fucking rude. Come here." And then they have to inch slowly closer. And then it's only when they come in close that you hear him say, in quite an exaggerated whisper, and he's delighting in the fact that everybody's observing this, "Fuck off." And then they edge off. And then he looks over to you, adjusts his bow tie, and then walks off to go and find someone else to annoy.
Great.
So,
I just ask you, he's like, okay, am I supposed to do anything?
no. Not unless the constable has asked you to.
Okay. How about the Keeper of Elysium? I mean, we're in his domain, according to
I'm assuming that's who the constable's gone to see now.
Oh, okay, cool. So, do you want a walkie-talkie?
Are you going to ask about puppies again?
I already have a puppy. But I can get you a puppy.
I don't.
You want a
Moses,
walkie-talkie?
if you want a job to do, just walk. Survey.
Yes, sir.
Stop talking about puppies.
Okay. I put on the earpiece again. Turn on Pearl Jam. Oh my Desmond. And Roger. And start walking.
There's a fleeting moment on Gideon's face where there's almost a moment of, what the fuck have we done? Almost. As he watches you go off.
It's okay, it's okay. The whole point is for them to believe I'm useless until I can prove them right.
Okay.
It's a good plan.
I thought you were going to say wrong. I was going to say ambitious.
No. So I'm just gonna keep on guessing.
Way to be.
That's what I do, but now that I have an excuse to just walk around and meddle,
Okay. Medal. I like it.
that's what I'm gonna be doing.
Okay.
Like keeping in here. Also, at some point I approached Nosferatu. Any word on Goldilocks?
Okay.
Because she wasn't on the list. I don't remember her being on the list of dead people.
No.
So I would like to check on whether she's okay.
Okay, so at an appropriate time, because I'm figuring lots of people will be doing this, Benjamin will want to congratulate Edmund on his appointment, and he will also want to congratulate Sabine on her appointment. But I also figure there are probably lots of more important people than him congratulating them who get to go first. So he'll wait until they're free and then go and congratulate them.
Okay.
He's also keeping an eye out to see if the Ghoul of Ghouls, Marcus, is around, because obviously he has a...
Marcus is around.
Um,
He is. You can see him over by the bar. He seems to be speaking to the individual that's currently tending the bar. But he seems to be more conveying instructions to this individual. And you can tell that he's conveying instructions because there's no drink in front of him. And the guy behind the bar is wearing a mask of forced patience as he's trying to essentially clean the bar or stock it away for what's likely to be a non-kindred event, likely happening after this. And Marcus is basically just demanding his attention. And then when he's not listening, he even flicks in front of his head to get his attention. So he looks around. It's quite clear that Marcus is on something of a time limit because he keeps looking around as though he needs to be somewhere else.
Okay, I won't try and give him a hamper at this point then. This seems like a bad time.
Are you carrying the hamper around?
I would imagine, I don't know if it's possible whether he'd have if there's like a cloakroom or a thing where you can leave.
Yeah, there would be a place.
I don't imagine, because I don't think he'd want to be walking around with it in there. So in that
People
case,
will mistake it.
in that case, I'm going to. Has he noticed Plucky Jake behaving in the way he's behaving?
You?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not been keeping it a secret.
Okay. So I'm going to approach Plucky Jake, and he's not going to have to act very hard. He's going to look slightly awkward and scared of him to try and encourage him to do that thing where he gets closer.
Okay.
So I'll be like,
Okay.
You know, one of those things where you sort of accidentally catch. You're going past someone. You catch.
So you're intentionally trying to, get the excuse to whisper.
Yes, I'm absolutely trying to do that.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is walk by him or something, and then obviously say hello, but just be. I mean, he's obviously scared of Plucky Jake anyway. But
It doesn't take much. I mean, Plucky Jake, he would have picked up on the fact that you're uncomfortable around him. It's probably one of the first things that you acknowledge. I mean, when you did see him, you did scream.
Yeah.
First time, and I don't think he's forgotten that. So yeah, he'd probably lean in.
Okay, so I'll be saying,
Oh, by leaning in, I mean he's leaning on your shoulder.
I'll say, hello, and then at some point when I'll drop off and say, I was wondering if I could talk to you at some point. I have a little bit of information.
Oh, you mean me?
I said, yes, it's always delightful to see you.
There's no need to lie. And he wraps his hand around your shoulder, and in what can only be described as the most socially acceptable headlock, leads you off towards the edge of the room. He even goes so far as to intentionally nudge past that same toreador as he goes past, and as she kind of looks around at him affronted, and he catches her eye, and he's like, and then walks off, directing you over towards the bathrooms, and he stops and goes, "Before we go in, this is not what you might be thinking," and opens the door and then shunts you. And he follows in and locks the door. And it's quite curious to note that he pulls out from underneath, he has a chain with a key on.
Yeah.
And he slots it in and just locks it to the main actual room itself.
So, goodness, another locked door.
You've seen many of them.
Too many lately, if I'm honest.
Kinky.
Anyway, but before we get sidetracked, I just I'll have a quick glance around. Do I think it's just us in here?
That you can see.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. So, do you remember the photograph with those fox hunters that you were shown not too long ago? Mm-hmm. I've got their names. I can put names to their faces. I thought that might be something you would like.
Where'd you get these names?
Well, from them, pretty much, actually.
Okay, right. New conversation. Walk me through it.
Well, I've already had a conversation with the constable about it. But,
I'm not the constable.
No, of course not. No.
I'm better looking.
I'm just going to keep.
Who fucking laughed?
I'm just going to keep talking. Just that they are, well, it's rather complicated, but essentially, I was sent to deliver some people a message, and I didn't know who they were, and then when I met them, I recognised them from the photograph, and obviously that's when I went to the constable and I said, oh my goodness, and all of that business. But they're dead now, so
Are they?
Well, I saw their heads.
Who sent you to give this message? And then the moment that you go, oh, he leans around again and wraps his arm around your head and walks you towards one of the stalls very slowly.
Some of that information would be in the report he asked for me that I gave
Oh, I know.
him. Oh, okay. Just
I know.
reminding you that. Okay.
I know. I have not forgotten.
Okay.
I'll say, well, I'd really rather, as I say, I've already told the constable about this, but it was, obviously it was Edmund.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Why is he sending you off to meet Sabat?
Well, I don't really know. Well, I like to think it was to lure them into a trap to execute them. That's what I.
You'd like to think, but you don't definitely think.
I don't really know what to think, and I try not to make assumptions. To be honest with you, which is why I think I went to the constable, because I was rather worried that things were, well, I was just very worried. But given that he's just become Primogen, I can only assume that everything's fine.
Describe Edmund to me in 5 words.
Describe Edmund to you in 5 words. Well,
Yeah.
as he is now. Attentive. Unpredictable. Intimidating. Generous. Strong.
I see. He starts taking the toilet roll and starts brushing it off and gets loads, and he starts funneling it down the toilets. There's no reason for it. He's just... But his entire attention's on you as he's doing it. So... You wouldn't say he's, like, perfect. Lovable. Bit of a chum.
No.
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 Well, that's a far cry from what you used to say.
Yes. Well, it's been a rather eventful few months. And,
But you definitely seen him during that time.
oh, yes.
Anything else you want to share?
Well, I was going to give you tell you their names. You know.
Oh, I'm going to get those off you.
Oh, right. But anything else I wanted to share in addition to those names?
Mm-hmm. Not your life story, anything that might, actually interest me.
Well, only... I don't know, obviously, if they're truthful about these things, but when I encountered them, there were 3 of them, as there were the first time, and they said that they hadn't found the fourth member of their group and that they doubted that I would be able to find them as they couldn't. I think that's what they said. And, well, being rather close to them, I don't know quite how to put this, but one of them in particular, there was something, well, very disturbing about him. I mean, to look at physically and the way he moved, and
You know you're talking about Nosferatu,
well,
right?
but that's rather my point. I mean, it wasn't like the other. I've seen a few Nosferatu now, and obviously, yeah, well, even by the standards of the Nosferatu, there was something. It was different. It was a different experience. It's hard to put into words, but I'm quite sensitive to these things. This one was different somehow. But well, I think he's called Canker, the one I mean that was different. It's hard to put my finger on exactly why it was, but he's the big one, the heavy one with all the bony spines and things. And the one who looks a lot like he's got a skull for a face, that's Stoffman, and the hairy one is Ridget, and the fourth one I think is called Cutter.
Cutter.
Yes.
You're absolutely sure it's Cutter.
Well, that's the name that I heard. But I didn't meet the fourth one.
Once he's finished with the toilet roll, he goes into the next store, gets the toilet roll from there, starts unrolling it and hands it to you. And then just leans against the door and then looks at the toilet pointedly and then looks at you.
Isn't this the establishment of this Miles Wright? Wouldn't it be quite?
Yeah.
But I mean, wouldn't this be very disrespectful?
Yeah.
But obviously you as someone of standing perhaps can do this and people might find it charming. But surely if I do it, it will be seen as horrendous and something awful will happen.
Maybe.
Then do I have an option where I don't do it? Is that
He shuts the door behind you. Do I need to lock this door as well?
Oh, I'd really rather you didn't. I'll
If anybody asks, we'll just say it was a really big dump.
what that one of the ghouls took.
Sure.
I'll put the toilet roll in the toilet because
He seems deeply amused. Deeply amused. He doesn't say anything else until you finished.
I will look thoroughly miserable.
And he will keep flushing the loo to just make sure that it is thoroughly blocked. And it's only once it thoroughly is blocked does he seem appealed and then steps out of the store. And then once you're out with him. So. Cutter. How is Edmund these days?
Are we now out of the toilet or are we just out of
You're
the cubicle?
out of the cubicle.
But we're still in the toilet area. So, well, he seems in some ways very well. As in, he seems quite content and happy in himself, I suppose. And you'll understand that, well, I feel awkward talking about him in anything but glowing terms. Because, well, frankly, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to upset him.
He ain't here.
Well, as I say, I think he, in some ways, seems very on top of things and very together, especially considering what's happened. But, well, he has rather a thing for locked doors and, you know, getting people to do things they really don't want to do and keeping the door locked until it's done.
It's a trick that works then, is it?
Works on me.
I noticed.
Well, obviously, I like to think you wouldn't be as persuasive as him if things were, but I'm not going to take any chances.
I can be very persuasive.
Oh, I believe it.
Very.
Yes, no, I completely believe it.
I mean, I'm talking like shit your pants
No,
persuasive.
I'd gone there immediately. That's fine.
I'm talking skid marks across the
No,
ground.
I'm aware. I'm sure across borders and nations. I'm sure everywhere.
You know, you're growing on me.
Thank you. I
Just like the best of fungus.
I'll take it. Thank you very much.
No problem, sweet cheeks. And he grabs you and he smooches you with a phlegmy, twisted, mauled. And it's intentionally done to weird you out. And he seems to be doing it as long as he can until there is a sign of revulsion, in which case he shoves you away and you almost slip across the water that's pooling out from the toilet.
Now, I would like a chance to hold out for as long as... I'm not saying Benjamin will,
Sure.
but I think it would just be hilarious to see how fast he crumbles or not, you know?
Feel free.
So what... what might this be?
Composure.
Could it be etiquette?
Yes.
Chatters me after that. I've touched me heavily on.
You know, I am going to spend a willpower on this. Because it would be lovely if I could, you know... We'll see what happens. Okay, so 3 successes.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. It's impressive. You managed to hold out for a good 3 minutes, and he makes you earn those 3 minutes. You're pretty certain that if your jaw wasn't clamped so tightly, he'd be trying to tongue you.
Okay.
He is taking full delight in
Yeah.
weirding you out. And then as he pushes you away and he moves over towards the door, he unlocks it, looks around at you, gives a kind of opens the door, and then goes starts walking out, and as he goes, Marcus, someone shit the loo. And walks off. And then as Marcus looks around, he looks into the toilet just in the exact moment as you kind of poke your head around.
Benjamin's fine. He knows that Marcus will know it's impossible for him to shit the loo. So...
Even so, he looks visibly kind of... It's always you. You don't know if that's towards the whole company, the whole coterie, or...
I will just leave.
The whole building? Or
No.
Just the toilet?
Just the toilet. Just the toilet.
So you start moving off. So, Jim, what are you doing?
Sticking near the wall, just watching.
Okay. Watching what?
Just kind of watching over the entire thing. Keep half an eye on Alicia.
Okay. Do wits plus awareness for me.
Okay. 1.
1.
1. Yep.
Okay.
Probably something.
Cool. So you can see Alicia moving throughout the crowd, and she is in the kind of attire that you'd expect to see someone that attends a kind of rock concert in the 80s. Very stylized. It's very like everything she wears. It's fashionable whilst practical, and she wears it as well as any of the toreadors in the room. Which is much to their chagrin, because quite a few of them are giving her a kind of look, realizing who she is, and then that look just deepens into open disdain, which she just seems to relish. And she's moving throughout the crowd, just eyeing people as she's moving past. There are a few people that she stops and speaks with, but mainly she's cleaving her way slowly over towards where you are. And then she walks straight past you, looks at you, and then goes and sits at the bar. What are you doing?
If it seems like an invitation to join her, I'll join her.
As much as any invitation she's going to give you.
Then I'll go and join her.
How are you enjoying it, Jim?
Well, good to get to know who didn't make it, and and see who got out.
Get used to that lengthening list, Jim. It's gonna grow.
I'm sure of that.
So, now that you've got your lessons and you've got your boon, which I will be cashing in, by the way, but not immediately. Kind of like having that hold on you again, I'm not gonna lie. Now that you have what you needed, what's the plans for Jim? Because everybody else seems to have gotten their foothold into the city in some way, whether that's through nepotism or similar. What about you?
People want to hold on the city. They're wanting control over things. Control doesn't interest me.
I didn't ask if it interests you, Jim. I said, what's the plan? Power doesn't interest me in terms of politics, but I still have a plan. That plan might change nightly, but it's still a plan. Whereas if you just linger on the edges of rooms every time you meet people, you're going to be far more boring than I thought you would be. So come on, what's the plan? Especially now that you're rubbing elbows with hounds and... Well, you were always rubbing elbows with a Tremere. But now you're rubbing elbows with a Tremere with authority.
I think I'm going to be seeing how far this will go. Didn't know he was actually going to be a definite hound till tonight, so that's a interesting take. But this is going to be an evolving plan.
Means you're going to have to behave yourself.
I know. As less appetizing as that is. But
You don't need to stop misbehaving, Jim. You just need to get better at not getting caught.
true. I guess I will see where this goes.
Yeah. So who's the guy at the door?
I'll look over at the door.
There is an individual that's lingering by the door, and the ghouls are currently in the way of ushering him out. But he is quite pointedly looking at you as he's moving out. And you recognize this individual to be Richard Whitman. As he is looking past you into the room, he's clearly not being allowed in, but he spied you as you moved over towards the bar, and he steps around, and he's putting something else into his jacket as he's moving off.
A problem of not of my creating, but one that clearly I'm going to deal with.
I mean, points for vagueness, but... Come on, I'm bored, Jim, tell me.
He's a cop.
Well, slightly less bored. And what's that got to do with you? Have you been naughty?
Oh.
Have you been making messes, Jim?
Not my mess. The hounds.
The hound's mess. Oh dear, what's he done?
Yeah. He
Looks over the bar at the guy that's eyeballing her, and then when she winks at him and then says, "We're having a conversation, fuck off." And, I mean, she says it in, like, a kind of good-natured way. And there's a moment where he's kind of like, "Bitch, this is my bar." But then he kind of realizes, actually, you know, and she moves off towards the end, quite wisely towards the end of the bar. And the way she's eyeing him, it's quite clear as well that this is not a kindred. And the way he's moving off and the way that she's looking at him is quite clear that she's now got plans for the rest of the evening. The way that she's kind of running a tongue over the fang as it ascends back up into her jaw.
First time I've seen him lose control for a moment.
Who?
The hound with What's caused the problem?
So, what happened, Jim?
Guy's
This is
daughter-
another vague answer, Jim.
That guy's daughter got eaten.
I knew I liked Moses. She looks around over at Moses as he's wandering through. And then when she catches your gaze, she goes,
And I walk towards her. Hi.
"What? Hey, killer.
Where's my bike?
Your bike.
My bike.
It's currently at 123. It's not your bike anymore street.
Could have made that clearer sooner.
No.
Was that part of the bone as well?
Sure. I like the bike.
I'm on duty. And I started like walking around and I just wanted to know where my bag was. Okay. I'll just walk around.
Yeah, she watches you go. This is going to be fun.
Yes, I get the sense it might well be.
What was his name?
Witten, I believe.
And the one that got eaten?
Oh, the one got eaten.
You didn't even have the decency to remember.
Oh, I know. Her surname's Whitman, I believe.
Well, yeah, you've established that.
I can't remember the first name. Not off the top of my head. I'm sure Moses knows.
I wonder if he does. Well, I'll find out. She gets up and moves towards the other end of the bar, to where the individual was cleaning glasses, getting everything ready for later on, and immediately stops what he's doing as soon as he sees Alicia approach. So, where are you headed? Just keep going around.
Wherever the gossip tells me to go. Like, I am sort of overhearing without overhearing, just doing my rounds, stopping at some point, looking like, and then continuing.
Wits plus awareness.
That is 4 successes.
Okay. One individual does catch your attention as you begin wandering around. Up on the balcony, overhead, is Alice.
She's there. I start making my way there.
Okay.
Like immediately.
Okay. Yeah, you break off and then go up the stairway, a circular stairway, which goes up. One of those old, archaic kind of metal ones. And as you get higher and she sees you coming over, there are a few anarchs that are around that are there speaking to her. Deacon Rhodes is there with what looks to be, based upon the way that he is touching her on the arm, the ruins of an arm. It's lost below there, but it's clear based upon the extent of the injury that it's regrowing. And he looks over and sees you and then whispers something to her as she nods, and then he starts moving off. Doesn't leave the top floor, they go and sit themselves down within earshot, but enough so that it's polite distance. And Alice stays where she is. She's got her kind of tank top on and a cut short denim jacket.
I just approach her. Are you okay? I just give her a hug.
She doesn't reciprocate fully, but there's the tenseness that goes through her body instinctively lessens slightly as you do it.
Have they taken care of you? They just look over where they are. It's like, thanks. Thank you.
Deacon just nods.
Really sorry about Difford.
Looks at his arm. So am I. Right, we got someone to be. Goes over and moves over to Alice and leans in and whispers to her.
Yeah, I just give him room.
Yep. And then she nods, and then he steps away. He hands her a bit of paper as he goes off, and then she doesn't even look at it. She just immediately pockets it.
And when Mayor walks by, I just nod at him. Like, thanks.
And you don't. And he moves off as well.
Once they're gone, I just...
Do a intelligence plus insight.
Ooh.
That is 5 successes, critical win.
All of them, Alice included, are more standoffish than you remember them being with you. It's subtle, but it's there.
Yeah.
Less so from Alice.
Probably because I'm a hound or something like that.
Yeah. You get the feeling that they excuse themselves not to give you privacy, but because they don't want to kind of linger. When it's clear that you're not just coming up to say thanks and then fuck off, they kind of took their leave.
And I just grab Alice, go and sit down.
She follows and takes a seat.
Really sorry about Sebastian, girl. That was a heavy blow for me as well. I know he was your sire and all, but he really did take care of me back then, back in the day, so. Everything all right?
Pulls down the eyelid and shows where the eye is reformed. But it's the way that it's moving slower means that it's not fully adjusted yet from where it's regrown. The rest of her skin and limbs are all returned. But the way that she's moving is stiff, as though she's still climbing. So it's probably a recent healing, which over 2 months is probably, given the extent of her injuries, is still impressive. But clearly she's still not talking.
So I guess neither them nor you are really fond of hounds. Yeah, I know you don't like the Camarilla and stuff, and listen, it's not that I am a blind follower of the Camarilla. I told you about Jacqueline. I still think she's, some sort of like holy. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of this. Also, being a hound puts me in a good position to find out when shit's about to go down. So I can alert those in time. Not like last time. I'm still sorry. I feel it's my fault, everything that happened to you. I'm sorry. I just give her a hug and hold on to her until she...
This time she does reciprocate. There's still a tension there as soon as you make contact with her, but it ebbs quite quickly. And then when you finally break apart, she gestures again.
Lucy, that's the thing. She was alright. We dealt with the situation. Benjamin helped. Problem is, Susan got smacked in the head. Probably she tripped and hit her head at some point. No, it looked more like she banged her head falling backwards or something. was you? No. From what I heard or from Benjamin, he just got a hit in the head, but it didn't look like anyone clubbing her. The problem is that after the ambulance showed up, she gave her story to the police, which, given the concussion she had, made them question her mental health and stability. So she went dark. She just took Lucy with her. And there's something very worrying about a medical condition relating Lucy. I had no idea what was going on. Susan has not left for Australia or New Zealand with her family. Probably it has to deal with Lucy's treatment. And I'm looking into that. I've been looking into that for about a month and a half now. And I've come up empty, unless he was being treated by a specialist. But what sort of specialist? I don't even know the nature of whatever Susan was dealing with when she took Lucy to the specialist. I'm in the dark. Like, she just disappeared. She went off the grid. And for her, it was not that difficult after the previous incident in, the Thin Bloods, when I told you about, for her to just undo, do without her new life, it was kind of easy. She was trying to start from zero, so she had very little to get rid of, and now I don't know where she is, or Lucy. They're in the wind, and I have not been able to make contact with them. I still keep the pager. Lucy knows the number too, but I don't even know if she remembers it. Just in case. I'm at a loss here. Like, nothing else happened to them that night, and Benjamin talked to Lucy, and she was okay. Please keep your eyes peeled. Just whatever you hear. Thank you.
She embraces you again. And then you can tell that her phone begins going off.
Yeah.
Because even over the din of the music, she pulls out her phone, flicks it, looks at it, and then embraces you quickly again, and then gets up and moves off.
Cool.
She opens the phone, holds it to her ear, obviously doesn't say anything, listens to it for a few seconds, and then flicks it shut, and then moves off.
That was good.
Benjamin.
Well, I guess it depends who's free. If I think I can approach... So the people I need to basically go and approach are Edmund, Sabine and Moses. So it's whoever seems free of those three.
Edmund is free quicker than Sabine is.
You amaze me. All right, well then I'll go and see Edmund.
Was that not the answer you wanted?
I want the answer if he was so busy and having such a great time, there was no way you could approach him.
Okay.
So no, I'll go and approach him.
As you're making your way towards it, bzzzt.
I'll take it away.
Oh, it tastes horrible. There's a lingering taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So do I recognise the number?
Amelia. But you can't hear anything over the phone because...
Oh well, I'll head somewhere quieter. Then I assume it's okay for us to pop out for a moment. And
Are you heading outside?
if I do, am I allowed to come back? Is it? Oh yeah, then I'll pop out.
It's Elysium. You can go back in.
So I'll pop back out. I'll pop out to take the call. Yeah.
Okay. As you step out, there are two individuals that immediately take your attention.
Okay.
One is Amelia, who's across the road from you.
Okay.
She's lowered her phone and she's speaking to Richard Whitman, who is speaking to her. And he's glancing over towards the club as he is speaking, and then it's then that he sees you.
Okay.
And then he puts something away and steps back as Amelia looks at him and then moves off towards you. She glances again at him as she moves over and then puts the phone away.
Okay, so I'll go over to meet her if that's what she looks like.
No, she's going across the road to
Okay.
meet you. Richard Whitman's staying there.
Okay.
How's it going?
It's well, it's certainly going. I must say, I'm surprised to see you. Is everything all right?
I was actually going to ask if I could join you.
Well, are you sure? I mean, you can, but he's...
I know.
Well, I don't...
I can't serve you properly if I'm hiding from him. I trust that you'll keep me safe in whatever way you can. And I doubt, based upon what I know, that he will do anything so overt there. He knows I'm still in the city.
I'll lean in closer and lower my voice. I don't know if he even remembers you exist. And
Well,
if you
then-
go in there, you're going to tell him and remind him you exist.
I won't speak to him.
But
Why would I go and speak to him?
But if you're seen with me, don't you see? This is how.
Would you rather I didn't?
I do appreciate that you're trying to help me as best you can, but I'm also trying to keep you safe. And
You're looking to run a gallery. Eventually he's going to know.
Yes, that's true.
If you'd rather I didn't go in, that's fine.
I just wonder if we should wait a little longer. Make a plan for how we'll do it, that sort of thing. What was that man speaking to you about?
He was asking after you and your friends.
How did he know to talk to you?
He saw that I was trying to get into the club and asked whether I knew you by name. He doesn't know that I know you, but clearly now he does.
Yes, he's a police officer.
I know. He showed me his warrant badge. His warrant card.
Yes.
He's not been allowed entry for obvious reasons.
ST question. I'm pretty sure I know that I didn't know when I first met him that about his daughter and all of that. I'm trying to remember if it came up. So Benjamin is still completely oblivious. Or does he know? I just want to quick clarify because I'm trying to remember if I can't remember offhand.
Well, Moses and Katya, I think we have not told you because you would suck at lying. I don't know if Jim...
Because I know that it was good that originally I went up and talked and...
Yeah, that was the whole plan. If you don't know, you cannot lie.
Okay. Obviously, chat, do shout if I'm being an idiot here. And actually, I have been told my name.
Loudly, he'll hear you.
Yeah.
He has all specs.
I do. So I'll say to... Well, that's a little bit worrying, but I suppose there's not much to do about it now.
No. I mean, it's mildly disconcerting that you knew that you'd be here.
Yes, it is.
But I've tried to make it appear as though I knew as little as possible. I didn't expect you to come straight out.
Oh, right. Well, when I saw it was you, Well, anyway, yes. Let's leave this for another time. And I will... I'll see you I'll see you later.
He was asking after the crossed hands as well. So if you do not wish to interact with him, I recommend not going there.
Right, understood. Right, well that's actually quite useful. Thank you. I better go and have a word with some of the others.
Any thing you need tonight, or?
I suppose some kind of some kind of breath spray, something
Mints.
It's probably the first time you've seen her smile in a while, as there's clear confusion. This is clearly not what she was expecting you to ask for. I have Tic Tacs.
Yes, I suppose that would a Tic Tac would be.
But won't that make you?
Well, no, I'm not going to swallow anything. It's just the taste. I just really want the taste of a Tic Tac in this moment. It'd be wonderful.
She takes out one or two and then judges by your expression, then just pours the whole lot into.
Yes, I think this is definitely a 5 Tic Tac scenario.
There's 10 just in case.
Thank you. This is honestly the best thing you could have done for me. Honestly.
There's a fascination as she watches you do a motion that now to you is quite alien.
Yeah. So I'll take out, I'll have a handkerchief or a tissue or something. So I'll chew the Tic Tacs, and then obviously I went in front of her because it'd be gross. But I'll turn away and put them into a tissue and put them in my pocket.
Okay. Whilst you're still where you are.
Well, I don't want to go back into Elysium chewing Tic Tacs.
Okay.
So.
It's just that this entire exchange is being watched by Richard Whitman across the road.
Well, I won't spit them out until I won't tell him out until I've left. I'll just chew them.
Okay.
I was like, well, I hope he doesn't think this is drugs or something. I mean, he must be very suspicious being a police officer.
Because what you realise after a few moments that the reason why she's so fixated is because whereas chewing comes naturally to anybody else that's eating, you have to consciously force your body to do it. So it's coming across like a cow chewing grass as you're forcing your body to react in a way that it doesn't really recall anymore.
This is quite difficult.
I don't think you're supposed to chew them, you're supposed to suck on them. You don't have...
Well,
Maybe you should just let them sit on your tongue.
more dignified.
Why am I having this discussion? Call me if you need me.
Oh well.
And she props up an umbrella and then just starts wandering off. Richard watches her go in and then just looks back at you.
Oh, unless he's looking in a kind of trying to catch my eye.
No, he's not.
over.
He's just observing you. He's being very unsubtle about observing you and her. But he's also observing the club.
I'll go back inside with a tissue, get rid of them. And
It doesn't help. The taste is still there. It's like you swallowed a bog brush.
yeah. Yeah, so going back, if Edmund is still free when I come back, I will go to him, obviously.
Okay.
And if not, Speen or Moses, whoever is.
Okay. So, Jim, now that you are free of your sire,
I'm going to be looking around to kind of see when Moses is free and his circuit kind of takes him near to me.
After Alice is gone, I just keep on surveying the area.
Okay.
Also, trying to figure out who's the keeper of Elysium, just in case I'm told to just, I don't know, follow his instructions or do whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So your route does eventually take you down past.
Moses?
Yeah.
We got a little problem.
no?
You remember that Whitman cop?
Yeah?
He came here.
Someone embraced him?
No. He got turned away by the door.
Okay.
He clearly recognized me. And clearly looking at me very intently, so I'm guessing he's trapped in me, maybe others of us here.
Well, and?
I'm pretty sure that's a problem that we need to deal with pretty pronto.
As in...
I don't know, but of course, I didn't do anything with the body unless you did.
What's he gonna do? Ask a dead man? Because when he went the first time round to have a conversation with us, he went into the room of Noah Miller, who is now officially deceased.
I've got a sense of the problem that we're gonna have to.
There's no body. There's no trail. It's just a hunch he has. Yes, it might be uncomfortable to have around, but...
Well, I'd rather not get arrested and put in jail for the day.
Yeah, why would he arrest you and put you in jail?
I do not know at this point.
He doesn't even have for all intents and purposes legally, his girl disappeared. Unless he has something definitive, he cannot even try and arrest you.
Yeah, well,
I clean up after my own messes.
I know, but he is. I get the sense he's going to be a major problem that we're going to deal with.
Okay.
And I would rather we handle this. I think better to handle this subtly, which is more your street, rather than us having another body on our hands, which is probably how it'll be if he just approaches me, unfortunately.
Well, that definitely would look suspicious.
I know.
His daughter already disappeared, but it was on a concert night.
Mm.
He just didn't like the answers we gave him, or the way we looked at him, or I don't know, the tone of our voice, the fact that when he went down to talk to us, my room looked broken in. And he's a cop, he knew something was amiss. But from there, to believe we had to do anything to do with it, like with the disappearance of her daughter, that's quite a leap.
Yep,
But if he disappears while investigating, there's a connection.
I know.
We just have to dissuade him.
And
I'll try and take care of that. Thanks for letting me know.
you're welcome. And if you need help, again, let me know.
Roger. 10-4. I start walking
I
up.
do not believe you're going to be a hound. No.
I start walking around.
Okay.
At some point, I'm gonna mess with somebody. Roger. Just to see the reaction. But that's not in the meantime.
Okay. So, you begin moving off back towards Edmund.
Okay.
And Edmund is largely by himself.
Okay.
He's gesturing for someone to come over and speak. And then, as you can see, you can't see who he's gesturing to, but you manage to make your approach, and then he stops gesturing as he notices you and turns and faces you.
Oh, hello. I just wanted to say congratulations on becoming Primogen.
Thank you, Ben.
That's all right.
How are you finding the gallery?
Well, it's early days yet, but there's it's very exciting. There's lots to do, and plans to be made and that kind of thing. So, yes, thank you again ever so much. I'm really looking forward to. I think. Well, I like to think that it's still got a very bright future ahead of it. You know.
Certainly.
Yes. Well, I won't keep you from, but I just wanted to say it was very unexpected and congratulations. You know.
Hopefully it helps to seal old tensions.
Yes.
And perhaps next time you'll stop when I call you.
Oh, of course. Yes. I'm sorry. Well, it's been a difficult few months. You know. Backpedal away from. Unless he looks like he wants me to carry on talking.
No, he's just watching you leave.
Okay.
And you get about a couple of meters back, and then you feel a hand on your back that stops you in place.
Okay.
And then as you turn and look, there's the plain individual that you spotted before that has the kind of almost bookish like appearance now. Whether or not it's the same outfit that she wore before, you can't really tell. It is Lisa Ketting.
Oh, the Toreador Primogen.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, oh, hello. I don't think we've met. I'm Benjamin Green,
I know who you are.
and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. You're the child of Edmund St. Clair,
Yes, that's right.
and you knew Michael Chase.
Yes, he did invite me to talk to him on a couple of occasions. I was quite honoured, I suppose. But I wouldn't say I knew him well. But yes, I think. Well, he took an interest in my art, I think.
Oh, you're an artist,
Oh yes, I'm an artist. Yes.
Benjamin. I think I've recall.
Oh.
Do you have a few minutes, or are you in a rush?
No, of course. If you want to talk, I'd be delighted.
Excellent. I'm just making the rounds, as it were.
Yes,
I'm not as well known as my predecessor, but that's intended to change. So
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, after tonight. Yes.
she lets you lead the way, and then follows you up the stairs towards one of the booths.
Gosh, I feel like I'm collecting Primogen. Like tonight.
What is it with you and the Toreador, man? What is it with you and the Toreador Primogens?
They just appreciate my.
Here we go
talents.
again.
Here we go again.
This evening is gonna end with me in some terrible location and lots of dead bodies. I can just sense it. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she sits down across from you, crosses her legs, and basically just ties her hair back. And then, I hear you've come into possession of Michael Chase's old gallery.
Yes. Goodness, that word does travel fast, doesn't it? Yes, but that's true.
If I might ask, how did you come by
It was a gift.
a gift?
Yes.
Certainly not from Michael Chase himself.
No. It wasn't from Michael, Mr. Chase directly. No. Quite a. I wasn't expecting it. I imagine it was something of a surprise for you to hear that. If it makes you feel any better, it was quite a surprise for me as well.
I mean,
A pleasant one in some ways, but obviously a surprise because
properties change hands.
yes.
He was a kindred of changing, evolving interests. So it's not entirely surprising. I was more keen to meet the person that's currently in command of the building, I suppose.
Well, I think that's probably me in that I hold the deeds.
I hope you're going to look after it.
Oh, very much so. It's a real honour. Such a prestigious building, and I'm sorry. Are you an artist, or do you have an interest in?
I designed the building.
You designed it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You can
Oh.
understand my interest.
Of course. Oh well, it's a real honour. I mean, not just to meet you as a Primogen, but also as the designer.
I'm not here discussing as the Primogen now.
Right. Well, obviously, I haven't had it for very long, and I'm in the early stages of. Well, obviously, I want that building to be used in an appropriate fashion. But of course, if you have any thoughts on it, I would be very open to any suggestions that you have.
Why, it was designed as a building that could be used for a multitude of things. Obviously, it's your property now, but I would be remiss if I didn't humbly request that you didn't make any alterations to the building.
Do you mean to the structure and the?
Obviously, it's yours to do with as you will. It's just
I feel that a building with history such as that should be respected.
it's the last building that I was able to design before.
I understand. Well, obviously, if you'd ever like to come and see it again or visit, or
That's very kind.
you'd be more than welcome.
I might well take you up on it.
Please do. My main intention, to be honest, is to use it as a gallery again and a place to exhibit fine works of different kinds.
It was originally intended to be a museum.
Really? I haven't had time to look into the full history of the building. Obviously, I knew of it as a gallery when Mr. Chase owned it. It has served many different roles in its.
Originally, it was, believe it or not, it was a gallery that was a museum. Sorry, that was run by the Prince's Ghoul.
Really?
Yes.
Goodness.
And it resulted in the museum changing hands after a few interesting articles showed up, which the Prince would rather did not become public. It resulted in Marcus's employment and the
goodness.
changing of the guard, as it were.
Well. Forgive me for again my ignorance, but do you think that Marcus has a love for his time there? Do you think he would appreciate?
No, he's much happier now.
Of course, yes.
He's surprisingly open for the prince's ghoul, with his own
Yes.
history. The prince's he is very, rightly so, very secretive of. But in terms of his own histories, he had a, depending on how you look at it, a healthy or a very unhealthy interest in the man the prince was. That fixation kind of...
I draw attention, and I think I can imagine how that might have...
Well,
yes.
he certainly seemed happier for it, but then it's hard to tell with the ghouls.
Yes.
If I might ask, the woman that's at the gallery, I did a pass by on my way in. Didn't intrude, just...
Yes.
She is yours?
Yes.
And you trust her to look after the place?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. Obviously, I will be taking a very close personal hand in it all as well.
I apologise if it's quite nosy on my part. It's just most of the buildings that I designed are not in London, and the few that I did design were destroyed in the Blitz. So one left standing.
Yes. Yes.
It's creatures of history. To see it destroyed when it's so lasting and indomitable is crushing. So I just want to make sure that it's taken care of.
Absolutely. And as I say, you'd be more than welcome if you wish to see for yourself, to put your mind at rest. By all means.
Oh, I trust your ability to... ST, not her. To maintain and look after the building. After all, as you said, it is prestigious.
Very much so. I might at some other time that is at your convenience, when I've had a little more time to properly study the history and such, to perhaps speak to you again about it.
Of course. It's nice to get a chance to speak to kindred of a fresher perspective. There's when your fascination lives in the evolution of modern era times, it's hard to indulge in long socialization with creatures that are stagnant. It's the beautiful thing about architecture, it always changes. But once it's made, it never does. I suppose it's a bit like us in that way.
Yes. Yes. That's funny. I think that gives me maybe the beginnings of an idea for a piece.
Oh, I'm glad to have helped.
Thank you. Yes.
I won't hold you up.
Oh, not at all. But yes, it was a real pleasure to meet you, and congratulations again.
Thank you. I look forward to your invitation for the gallery.
Yes. I'll be sure to send one soon.
And she gets up. She takes a glass with her that she had. It's obviously full. It's obviously not wine.
Yes.
But she moves off and starts going down. She's got a book with her that she has. And though she's never opened it, she has clutches it quite closely. As she moves
Okay.
off. It's almost like a notepad that she's taken around and making notes on, but not once has she actually made a note on it. And she heads off down the spiral staircase and then vanishes into the crowd, leaving you on your own upstairs. What are you two doing?
Just doing my rounds until I figure out where to find the rest of the information that I came for. What happened to Goldilocks? Other people that are maybe not declared dead, but missing.
Okay, are there any particular Nosferatu that you're going for?
If Maurice is around,
Maurice? Okay.
I'm just gonna simply go in there and chat up. If not, Plucky Jake
Okay.
will be good.
So which one are you moving towards as a preference?
The one that is closest to where I am at any moment. So.
Okay. Maurice is there.
Okay.
No, sorry, Maurice. Maurice is not the closest one. It would be Plucky Jake.
Okay.
So, and he's also the most audible and the easiest to locate. So, he sees you approaching, and then moves past the kindred that was speaking to him. A hound.
Yeah. Hiya.
Don't think this means that I'm not gonna hit you with Rusty Joe the moment you fuck up, Moses.
Didn't think of anything. I didn't think anything like that was gonna happen, Jake. Quick question. I've been trying to figure out how were we, hit as a clan, and there's someone that I've been trying to get a hold on, Goldilocks.
What about her?
I haven't heard anything from her or anyone that can tell me if she's alright or anything. Wasn't one of the explosions near Baker
Walk and
Street?
talk. Moves off. Doesn't take you towards the bathroom. Instead moves off towards. There's another door which leads into another area of the club. It's you get the feeling it's a kind of extended dance area which opens up when the club gets particularly busy. And he steps through. There's no one else in there. But even so, he takes you right down to the back, around the corner, into a small stretch of corridor which separates the main room from the bathroom, and it basically connects the whole place back up. And he takes you there, and then Goldilocks. Any particular reason you need her?
Not that I need her. It's like I heard about the explosions or the attacks of the Sabbat or the terrorist attack or however they want to frame it on the media. So of course I was in the gallery, and then there was the shopping gallery, and the third one was in Baker Street Station, near Baker Street Station. That's well within her domain. I know because I help her with a little bit of a resident Thimblood problem. The Thimblers that had attacked me and my coterie in our haven, in our domain. So, I know she didn't like me much, but then again, she didn't like many people much. But at least we helped each other, sort of, and I was just worried if she was okay or what had happened.
Yeah, that bomb got her. Obviously, that's not something we want advertised.
No, not at all.
She kept largely to herself anyway. I give it a couple of missed court dates before this lot finds out. But by that time, we would have recouped.
Did we lose many more in that?
In that particular one? Knowing you'd know. Most of them will pass us through.
Her brood?
Mainly the kennels.
Okay. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. One, being a hound sucks.
Yeah.
But at least I think I'll get a heads up of what's going on before it hits me, not like the gallery.
How do you think I started?
Were you a hound?
No, I made it straight up to...
Sheriff?
No.
Constable thingy?
No.
To Primogen?
No.
Prince?
No.
Then what?
I'm just trying to see how much you actually know, Moses. Is that the only positions you think of?
No, I'm thinking Keeper of Elysium, Archon, Justicar, and that's about all the knowledge I will have. I will start phrasing more stuff, but I need more points in politics. I'm sorry. Like I'm telling him about the basic stuff that you would hear. Were you a harpy?
Yes, Moses, I was a harpy.
I know you have the social
Everyone
flair for
cleaves
it.
to my every word. I clearly set the fashion trend.
I can attest to that word.
Don't ever say that, Moses. Makes you sound like an asshole.
So, well, regardless, there's another issue, a couple of them, but one is particular. It's missing from my report
Okay.
because it happened afterwards. I sent it to you, but then I've been with the hound training and checking up on Alice and doing all their stuff with my coterie.
Right.
I had a little chat with Edmund St. Clair.
That name's coming up an awful lot tonight. What?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was just made Primogen.
Right.
But this is a few months back, a couple of them. I was with his child, with Benjamin. And, well, you did know in my report that he had gotten to those Nazis that, other Nosferatus that killed Foggy and attacked me in the Warrens. So at the beginning I wanted to say thanks and basically know how he knew.
Okay.
That guy is scary. Like, hella scary now. He wasn't scary before. And I have a theory. And you're gonna laugh at it because it's laughable.
Alright.
So, Benjamin tells me that this guy had this particular muse. He had like a very artistic streak, and he needed this muse to inspire him. So he, from time to time, apparently, I don't know exactly how it happens, or, I mean, the details are very unclear on how Ben went on with it. But apparently he was drinking from this muse, but this muse was not kind. This muse was kindred, and every time I asked Benjamin to describe it, he would not be able to find words to describe it. And he's a guy who's really good with words. And
Really?
well, he knows them. He's really bad at using them, but he's really good at knowing them. And he would not put words into it, or he would put too many words at the same time. He described it as both horrifying and beautiful and I don't know, repulsive and attractive and magnificent and horrendous.
Alright, stop with the flattery, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, getting hot in here again.
But the things that Edmund was drinking from this muse, I don't know how it works. Apparently, the only thing I can think of is torpor, but then don't you run out of blood at some point? I don't know. The thing is, I believe he was addicted to that blood. That blood had something, and it made him like a junkie go apeshit with some things. Did you know Edmund Sinclair was the Blood Eagle killer?
Yeah.
He was inspired by this muse. Without that muse ever talking. And I don't know what happened, but apparently, he, after the attack on the Subag and then the gallery, Edmund went and completely drank to death that muse, and in my opinion, that toxic blood OD'd him. He is like, that guy is not Edmund Sinclair. I shook his hand, and he was like shaking a pink cushion. Haven't you noticed he's wearing like leather gloves?
I try not to look at him too long.
Well, his hands feel like skeletons with needles. Like literal a skeleton with needles. Like bone and weird. And he was very adamant on us not leaving the place, closing the door behind him, locking us in with him.
Gotcha.
And when we managed to leave, because I sort of like fast talk my way out of it. And I'm talking blocks and blocks ahead. I mean, Benjamin even asked me for a favor, not to leave him alone with them. I didn't know he was so afraid for his life. I thought at the beginning he was being eccentric, but he was genuinely afraid of his life, for his life. And to be quite honest, after that conversation, so was I. Blocks and blocks away from the place, when I'm telling Benjamin he was right to fear the guy, that guy kept me on edge, I got a call from him, asking us to stop the car.
Yeah, slightly freaky.
Benjamin didn't do it, he just went on.
Well, then he's learning.
Yeah.
And what about you, Moses? What did you do?
I put a tracker on the cell phone he has. It's a gift from me. Well, from Benjamin to him that I gave Benjamin. So I can tap into his conversations where he might notice, but I can track the phone. As long as he keeps it with him, we can know where he is. I don't know if that's something you will find useful, but I certainly will find it useful whenever he's coming around my area. I mean, now he's always gonna have an excuse to go near my domain with his child being there and all. But I don't know about this toxic, addictive blood weird thing. I was expecting to, for the effect to pass, but this guy is like, that's not Edmund Sinclair. He's not. I mean, he was so wonderful when he was like around us and treating us right and all that stuff, like being polite and never messing with people. And now he's spooky. Like cuckoo spooky.
You're only just clocking on to the fact that Malkavians are a bit cuckoo.
Yes, but this guy is 7 Ways Till Sunday. Gone. From 2 months ago. The change is ridiculous. He didn't even recognize Benjamin. Didn't even know who his friends were. And according to Benjamin, he, with his bare hands, sort of, well, Benjamin didn't go into detail, but Edmund had a close friend, kind for the looks of it, by the looks of it. And he removed all the organs of the guy in the most efficient manner to keep him alive for the whole procedure, or for as long as possible.
Where?
God knows, I don't know. I could get Benjamin to tell me, but I will have to sort of go into that conversation again. Also, I've been told that he's keeping. The reason I tapped his phone and put a tracker is because he's keeping hostage the guy who tortured Alice and me. And me being a hound is payback. Is an excuse to look into his business and find out what the fuck's going on. But that was before I found out that he turned from wonderful sire of a coterie maid into a homicidal maniac on the loose.
Will it make you feel any better if I tell you that guy is not going to be lasting for long?
Who? The guy.
The fucktard you're on about.
You mean you mean Edmund or the Sabat idiot?
The Sabat, Alexander.
Okay, yeah. What's gonna happen to him?
I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, can I join? I promise only to look and do whatever I'm told, and I can bring popcorn if you want some at the end. Like, I promise to be good. I will behave. I will even hide any evidence of any tracking of anything you want.
You won't need to hide anything. Prince can't do shit.
Oh, can I join?
Sure.
Thanks.
If you stop with that fucking smile.
Deal.
I'll tell you what. I will let you sit in, but you need to do something for me.
That awfully sounds like a boon.
No, trust me. You might even like this one.
Okay.
I'm chuckling already.
You are, but I'm not.
You will.
Is he gonna ask us to give him a puppy?
Premonition.
I think I know what this is.
I am using my powers of premonition to know that there is something coming.
And he leans in and he whispers.
What? For reals?
Do I look like I'm fucking joking?
Well, that's actually a small price to pay for the sit-in. Deal.
Good.
And then I go out.
Okay. He follows. Adjusts his tie. And walks out. Okay, so...
Who's around? Katya around? Jim around?
Katya is
Jim around?
with Sabine.
Okay,
And
they're
they're
busy
mixing
now.
around. So... Where are you two?
Which two? Us two?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only person that I think I have to congratulate officially is Sabine. If Moses is currently off or was off, then I will probably approach Jim next.
And sat by the bar.
You just sat there and let the world come to you.
You're letting him on you, baby.
Sorry, do I find him all right?
Yeah, you find him.
Jim,
Yeah.
there's someone at the outside the front of the club.
I know.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He tried to come in.
well, he may not have come in, but he has taken up watch of the door, and he noticed me when I popped outside for a moment and was asking questions about us, I think. I don't know everyone, but certainly about me, and I think about us, and about the crossed hands.
Like crossed hands.
Yes. So
Crap.
I was going to say that you should probably be very careful how you leave, and that you may not want to be seen going into the crossed hands.
Mm-hmm.
Just to warn you, because I think, well, he was being very overt, you know.
I know.
Well, I just think this. I don't like it, and I also think that, well, this is the kind of place which, if he gets noticed doing that, something might happen to him, and if the people, and I'll sort of gesture in the general direction of this kind of room, here take action and then discover that he's here because of us, I think, well, I don't think they'll find that terribly impressive. I think that's what I'm saying.
No. I've already asked Moses to try and do it subtly.
Oh,
If
is he
not-
going to take care of it?
Well, he's.
Oh, that's a relief. Oh, that's good. No, I'm glad that you've dealt with this, Jim. Thank you.
However, this with how overt he is, it might unfortunately get a little ugly.
Well, yes, that's the thing. I just, well,
And if it gets ugly, he ain't gonna survive it.
yes, and obviously that we want to avoid that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yes. So good, but you're aware, and you've made Moses aware, and Moses is dealing with it. That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, if you,
But I would just say be very. I'm going to be very careful in the way I leave, and
Yeah.
I would advise you do the same.
well, if there's a good idea to find if there's another entrance or a back way out.
Well, funny you should say that. I was going to do just that before I left.
Well, if there is a way, I'll join you that way.
All right.
Going around looking for them.
Yeah, you can find him at the bar.
I just approach them.
Oh, hello, Moses. Congratulations.
Thank you, I'm so happy. And I just give him a big kiss on the mouth. It's like, "Mwah! I'm so happy.
Evidently, I'm assuming though that Moses does taste better than Plucky Jake on a
Yes.
scale.
But then Moses probably wasn't trying to tongue you.
No.
So.
You taste like Tic Tac.
I'll say, well, if that's the case, if that's the case, I'm doing rather well. Listen, I was just talking to Jim. I understand you're already aware of the situation, but he's still out there, and he's noticed me. And he was asking after the crossed hands, and I am concerned that he seems to be taking a very active interest in us and this place, and that should it be noticed by other people here, it won't go very well. And also, we should probably leave discreetly. He's not being very subtle, but I think he is going to be very attentive. And we should let Katia know. I don't think she's going to like this at all, if I'm honest.
Nope.
Actually, let me try and see if I can. I'll be right back. And I start walking security guy style, you know, very confident of myself until I have to go to the first person and go like, "Excuse me, can I? Thank you." You know, very, very ridiculous. Like walking all the way there. I'm walking towards Katya and Sabine.
They're easy enough to find. They're making the rounds. Probably people that are making the most rounds. They're interacting with pretty much everyone. And whereas before it would normally Sabine lead most of the conversation, Katia is playing her part. Commendable success given that she is still technically in the end. But then as Sabine sees you approaching, she stops Katia before she moves off, and then sees you approach.
So I just wave at them. Hiya.
Hello, darling.
A little excited. Congratulations.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. How are you doing tonight?
Remarkably better.
Glad to hear that.
And you're very smiley. I'm assuming your advancement is...
Well, yeah, I went into some training and some, learning the ropes as they will, doing some tests. Like, it's not like, it's gonna sound very pompous, but it's not like everyone can join the constable in her duties. And I think I had it easy because I think I don't know, maybe she likes me, or at least she doesn't dislike me. But either way, it was something I worked for and it paid off. So it feels okay. It feels gratifying, I guess. As being, the first Primogen of the Tremere. Well, I don't know if ever or for a while. I know that you didn't have one, and now you are one. So you are super cool in that, like.
Better than the alternative, I assure you.
Oh, absolutely. And always thankful to you for helping us in the ways you've had. Always. Thank you. Katya mentioned what you did to get rid of them. Ooh. Thank you for that as well.
She did tell me that would have been a particular note for you.
Yeah, I've never liked them. It's not that I knew they existed until I did, and then I liked them less.
You're okay, but you're a vampire.
Yeah, but you know how a vampire is like. If they're very old, they're very powerful, right?
Yes.
But death is a new beginning. So even if I were to die final death, and become a ghost, those ghosts would have been ghosts for far longer than I would. So they are like the elders of the ghost world, the ones that are already ghosts today. And some of them are powerful. And I mean, one broke like
Katya's face palming.
and it's like one pushed Jim out of a bathroom window, like a bathroom door, and the other one clubbed Benjamin and broke like a collarbone. And one of them trying to Katya. And that's nasty. I mean, Ghosts are... How do you deal with them? Well, you found a way. So, again, as always, and I've told Katya many, many times, you have a friend in me. And I did not steal that from a lovely movie. But you can count on me if you need me.
I'll be sure to remember that. Thank you, darling.
Thanks. And now if I can have a word with Katya, and I turn to her. It's a little coterie situation. Won't take long. It's just a minute.
Katya steps away and joins you.
And I just approach her and say, hey, Richard Whitman is outside.
Right.
And apparently he's been he's been following either Jim, Ben, or you. Because I'm pretty sure he would not be following me. I was blurry to his senses.
Is he still out there?
Benjamin told me that he was. I don't know how long ago was this.
Well, I doubt he's going to do anything stupid. It'd be in the best interest of everybody here to...
But what if he tries to do that later? Jim told me that he'd been asking for the crossed hands.
Then I recommend that we all take precautions to ensure that... I mean, unless there's any sort of evidence, surely this is just... We just have to ensure that we're not making any more slip-ups.
Yeah. But I think other than whatever suspicions he might have, there's nothing linking Catherine to any of us. What?
I'm trying to remember if that's true, and I'm hoping it is. But...
Wait a second. You told me that you took the brother to the bus stop, right?
Yes.
How long were you with him for? He was pretty hammered.
Well, as long as it took you to get everything squared away.
So not that long, but probably the brother vaguely remembers you or Jim.
I mean, it's possible.
It's most definitely likely that Richard Woodman did not like going into the cross hands, seeing my door busted, and then us being a slightly off-putting. But we were dealing with other stuff.
Well, before we jump to conclusions, we just need to make sure that we, all together, make sure that we don't make any more mistakes or give them any more reason to look into us.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, thank you for letting me know. I'll be sure to.
Aren't you excited, Sabini's Primogen?
Very. Especially given the look on my son's face.
Oh, I didn't look at... I mean, he didn't look like it was affecting him, but he probably looked like...
Oh, he was seething.
Good evening to you. I will keep up my rounds. Gotta keep the people safe. And I start walking around. All the way to them is like, okay, yeah, Katya knows.
Sorry, when he goes off, while he's having that conversation, I'm going to turn to Jim and say, Jim, but please be honest, do I look different to you tonight?
You feel the sudden urge to kiss him.
And why are you asking me that?
Well, just that I'm noticing that certain people seem to be being more, I don't know, physically forthcoming than they used to be. And you've talked in the past about, well, you know, about the gangrel having a certain way about them, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if there are things that, well, are there certain things, for example, hypothetically, that gangrel in general would like or dislike? And could that be true for other clans as well? And if so, how does one know what that thing is and change it? I suppose that's what I'm really, because, you know, I thought it would be rude to refuse a gesture of admiration from someone, but I'm wondering if maybe I should have, maybe I was too polite. Maybe perhaps a little bit of more revulsion and horror would have been appropriate. And I suppose the thing is, if people are normally repulsed, perhaps a little bit of kindness goes an awful long way, and perhaps I sent a wrong signal I didn't mean to send. I'm rather worried, but I just can't help noticing. Well, I assume Moses has never kissed you before.
Are you saying that Moses is not the only one who's kissed you?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
So who kissed you?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to talk
Come on,
about
who
it.
kissed you? Come on.
I'll glance around. Do I think we might be overheard?
It's hard to tell. Okay. There's a lot of music going on.
I'll say it was another Nosferatu. It was Plucky Jane. So I don't think we should. I think this is important that we don't tell people this, Jim. All right, I'm trusting you with this. He was very. I mean, I didn't even think that Kindred even care about this kind of thing anymore. You know, I don't because a lot of this. But perhaps it does with Nosferatu. I don't know. But you don't. But you know, 2 Nosferatu in one night. That's definitely.
If you want to do the rounds, you're more than welcome to.
No.
I ain't kissing a Nosferatu.
No, that's precisely my point. It's never happened before, and suddenly it's happening with regularity, and that makes me think: what if there's something that is drawing them to me? What if there's something? I just thought if you suddenly, you know, I was worried there was something, I don't know, or there was something different, but I don't think I'm doing anything differently.
I'm just gonna look him up and down and go. You're not asking for one from me, are you?
No. I'm not asking for anything. I've had plenty of affection for one evening. I'm just trying to, you know, isolate something if it's the cause of the problem, and obviously then make sure it never happens again. That's what I'm trying to do. But if you don't see anything radically different, I don't know.
You do realize there is a certain method that you see what Plucky Jake's doing with the Toreador?
Yes, I did see that.
I assume he'll do that. Was doing that to you for the same reason, to specifically freak you out.
I suppose so, but I don't know. You weren't there, Jim. I mean, he could have. He'd already freaked me out long before he stopped. I'm just saying. It didn't seem just like that.
Was he kissing you for a while?
Yes.
How long?
I did. It was.
Come on. How long did he kiss you for?
I mean, I wasn't exactly counting. Oh, I sort of was in a sense, but you know, not immediately. A long time. I mean, the last time anyone kissed me for that long, I think I was a teenager.
So that was,
you know, in one sitting.
That was a full make out.
It was. You could argue it was a form of assault. Yes. But anyway, I take it from your response. There isn't anything obviously different, and whatever it is, who knows? I guess the thing is that it could be anything. I'll have to check that. Well,
I give you a word of warning. Don't try and kiss Messiah. Not unless she initiates it.
I'm not trying to kiss anyone. That's the problem. They're trying to kiss me. That's the problem. I'll glance over to just because he said that now. Like, is Alicia looking like she's approaching me like a kind of piece of prey? Because
the way
I can always run for the door.
It's classic. This is Vampire the Masquerade. No, she's occupied at the end of the bar.
Breathe a sigh of relief.
However, there is someone approaching you.
Uh-oh. If there are Nosferatu,
Get more tic tacs. Get more tic tacs.
I heard there was a kissing booth. No, the
Or is it Sexy Pearl?
Sexy Pearls.
Sexy Pearl.
Oh, my face. No. It's Danielle.
Oh, okay.
She is approaching from the other side of the room.
Okay.
Is this one you want to kiss?
So no, this is a friend of mine.
was introduced.
Of course, of course. So I'll wait for it to come along and
You kiss back at Jake. Let's go.
say, "Oh, hello. This is Jim, and Jim, this is Danielle. Jim's in my coterie.
Nice to meet you.
Are you all right?
Yes. Figured it's been a while since I came to one of these, so...
It's nice to see you here.
How are you?
It's been a rather strange evening, if I'm honest, but I'm all right. I think, as given everything.
She reaches out and takes from your teeth.
Oh,
Piece of tic tac.
do I think it was a piece of Tic Tac, or do I think it was a piece of something else?
She flicks it away before you can see it. You're hoping it's a Tic Tac.
I'll say thank you.
How is...
She's well. She's well. Yes. How are you?
It's a difficult question to answer.
It often is these days, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Well, if you'd like to answer it, another time, that I'd be very happy to listen and and talk.
How's the headaches?
I'm assuming ST they've been. Oh, much better actually. I've not really had them for quite a while.
No, me neither.
But then, given what I've just discovered, well, obviously your suspicions were true, and I wonder if all of that, well,
Yes.
but no, I haven't had anything like it, which is good because it was awful. How about you? Have you had any? Have they recurred for you at all?
Not recently, no.
Oh, well, that's something, at least.
So... How is... Edmund? I see that he's... ascended.
Yes, he's doing very well. I suppose I'd say that he's probably the same as the last time I talked to you about him. But he seems to be enjoying things, and he seems to be on top of things.
I see. Well... I'm not sure what having him as Primogen will mean for the clan. It's not exactly like we have face-to-face gatherings, really.
Well, it's odd because I didn't even really meet Edward or talk to him. I don't really. I'll lean in a little, but I mean, Gilvery's still here. I was like, I don't really know much about what a Primogen does, to be honest, beyond being largely responsible for us.
The Primogen Council has to help advise the prince, as far as I'm aware. He was a remarkable man in life. And although he was a man of few words in person, he kept everything straight. Well, you experienced what it was like when he wasn't.
Yes. So did you? Well, you knew him, didn't you? Because
only in the sense of as a member of the clan to the Primogen. Believe it or not, he was before the prince made admittance into the city more stringent. He was very accepting of new members of the clan.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry I never got a chance to
I mean, there was downsides. There always is. I mean, it was him being in the same city made it easier, and yet being with him in person made it harder to. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the
No,
discussion.
It's all right. I think we covered the key points really.
Yep.
Can I ask you an odd question? You know, sometimes you I don't know, you sense things very strongly. Do you ever find something lingers beyond its usefulness or beyond the moment that you've experienced it? And if so, how do you I don't know, cleanse your palate, as it were?
How do you mean?
Well, I mean, well, you know how I don't know. Let's imagine that you had that there are some, like, I don't know, the smell of a fire or certain things that kind of linger beyond you actually being in proximity to them. Actually, you know, just pretend. I forget. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it'll all be fine.
Okay.
But it was very, very good to see you.
Where's your coterie mate? I wanted to congratulate him.
Oh, I'll have a look for Moses.
Sauntering around, you know. And excuse me.
So have you met him before?
I can't remember.
I don't think. Well, I wasn't there. If you did, would you like me to introduce you?
Yeah. Just in case. I mean, my memory's not.
Oh, he's quite memorable. I'm sure you'd remember if you'd met him. I've not met anyone else like him. I'll take her over to Moses.
I join him.
Okay. You see Danielle making the approach. Alongside Benjamin.
We met. I'm trying to think if Moses has met her.
I don't think
you
he
have.
has.
So,
No.
no.
Danielle's pretty much exclusively met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's met Katia as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, during the ghosty thingy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Moses, I was hoping to introduce you to a friend of mine. Oh, this is Danielle. And she's a clansmate, and
She takes your hand and then stops. I'm very sorry. And lets you go.
What for? Is it that bad being a hound?
And she actually sheds a blood tear and then quickly wipes it off. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Danielle.
Moses.
Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you. Thank you.
so Danielle actually saved me from the werewolves.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Thanks.
So yes, we got off to quite a good start, really, as these things go.
So that's when you met, was it, or have you met before then?
Oh, this was obviously that was all a while ago.
Yeah.
But yes, that was when we first met.
You're lucky that night then.
Well, I mean, on balance, I suppose I was, although one could argue the very fact that I was in that position was quite unlucky.
Yep. Because lupines are they're a nasty business.
I would have located you either way. But
So where are you from originally? If you don't mind my asking.
before the
Whenever you want to start counting.
well, it's kind of a hard question to answer because I was born between cities, so it's
Like on the line that divides the cities?
no, I mean like between cities. I was born on the road,
Oh, okay.
so it's and difficult question to
I'm
answer.
sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to upset
sorry. It's my mind wanders off with me.
My question was basically, are you British or not?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
Um,
Are you okay?
yeah, that's. I just.
You know how these things can get, Moses. It's lots going on, lots of people. It can all get a little intense, you know.
Yeah, tell me about it. People have been fawning over me.
Have they?
No,
Yes.
they
No.
haven't.
I was going to say I know what that's like, and it can be quite a shock. So.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you go ahead.
Yes. I'm glad you're so excited and exuberant. It's lovely to see. Lovely.
You want to hug from me too, or do you?
Group hug. Moses doesn't crack, but I do. I just take this opportunity just to make him uncomfortable and make myself feel more comfortable. That's
You
just.
can hear from across the room.
I just break away, look back.
Now, do you guys have any plans for the rest of the night? Because I don't know how long this is gonna last.
They'll probably have it for a few more hours, and then the kind will come back in. It's just long enough for them to handle whatever business they have. Now that the prince has finished it's entirely up to the keeper. But I haven't seen him, so
Okay.
work on the assumption it could end soon.
Have you met the keeper of Elysium, Danielle?
No.
He's kind. Well, I heard he was American, but that's pretty much it.
Well, I suppose, given your business tonight, you probably could go and say hello if you wanted to.
But yeah, but if he's busy talking to Primogen and.
Oh well, no, not if he's doing that. But I mean, because obviously there was that announcement tonight, it probably wouldn't be inappropriate to go and say hello.
Yeah.
For you, I mean.
I'll probably just wander around his office. And then
Yes.
see you guys back at the Cross Hands later on. Are we moving back
Well, I certainly.
after Katya dealt with our friends?
I'll smartly
sorry.
say. Oh yes,
It's not
that business is all dealt with. Do you remember the last time you were there? It was all a bit.
She knows about them.
Yes, she can. She was helping Katya.
Oh, so.
But it's done. It's all done now.
How? Oh, so.
No, well, it wasn't me. It was Katya.
Exorcist. Or something like that. Tremere.
She dealt with it, but I'm sure she might tell you if you ask her.
Yeah, she looks pretty busy.
Yes. Well, it's rather a big night for her. Well, yes. Although I think, well, yes, we are, but I think carefully, given other business.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, I keep doing rounds. Nice meeting you, Daniel.
Nice meeting
See
you
you
guys.
around. Bye. And I just keep on my rounds, and I approach the general area of the Keeper of Elysium.
Okay. So the moment he's moved off, she turns and links arms with you.
oh, with me, okay.
Yeah. Just look after him.
Yes. Well, I think he's been through quite a lot lately.
Not yet. Come in, just
Oh. Right.
like you're doing for Amelia.
All right.
I need to go and pay respects.
Of course.
So if you're free later, seek me out.
Oh yes. Well, yes. I'm sure I will.
She unlinks her arms and moves off. And we're going to take a break there. Because I've ran slightly over and Mitch keeps giving me weird looks. So we're just going to hand you over to the players, guys. And we'll be back in a moment.
So just gonna come in here and switch cameras.
Boards first.
Boards first.
So we'll look at boards first, and then we'll get on to fun announcements. and things.
As long as we're in shot.
Huh?
Yeah, so I understand there are clever technical things going on that are beyond my ken. But while that's happening, with the relationship map, the main thing to talk about is two new strings.
Massive new string.
Massive new strings. So we will start with mine, and then I'll let Carlos do his. So Benjamin now has a string that runs from him to Sabine. And personally, I'm a big fan of strings that cut across the map. So there we go. That one's there.
So since he's a big fan, you're gonna love, although I hate, the one that connects Moses all the way to Edmund Sinclair all there, or Vemond, or Vedmond,
Or whatever
or
you...
however you want to
Yeah.
call them.
I think
I
Vedmond
think you
is...
might need one go from Plucky Jake to Benjamin now as well.
You know, I'd like to think that probably Plucky Jake is now one step bloodbound towards Benjamin after all of that experience.
Do you really want that?
Up until when did they listen to?
Do you know what they last heard?
What was it?
I want to see some J-palms if you can hear me.
J-bums to J.
Oh no, it sounds like they've got no audio still.
Uh-oh.
No idea.
There we go. There's J pumps. Yeah, backward low.
There we
J
go.
pumps. J pumps.
Okay.
J pumps. There we go.
Cool, cool. All right, so...
Can you hear that?
There we go. Hey.
Yeah,
We get J
yeah.
pumps. We get J
Okay.
pumps.
Are we good?
So, Board of the Dead, we're looking at the cool section, and Mrs. Morofsky's lover ghost is there. There was a bit of discussion about whether they should be on the Board of the Dead, because they're not exactly dead, or are they dead, or are they just in oblivion?
Oh, the board of the undead.
Does it count? Do we need a new board? But ultimately, we thought, well, we'll put them, because they're probably in, we're guessing they're in oblivion, we don't know. So we're going to put that one on the cool board, and then the other ghost is on the not cool board, Mrs. Morofsky's husband, because we argued the one that was attacking us and trying to kill Mrs. Morofsky was probably uncool, and the one that was trying to save her is probably cool. And then there was this rumour about this third ghost that we put in between cool and not cool, the alleged third ghost. So that's where they are there. And then the Board of the Dead itself, the main changes are up at the top,
Additions, yeah.
where we've got killed by Sabat ? Because although they died around the time of the attack, we don't actually know who killed them or how they died. And there we've got Edward Colbert, who, I don't know, I'm not convinced he died in that attack on the gallery, we'll see. Paul Difford and Sebastian Coley. And I think that is that for now, is that right?
Players are a suspicious lot.
We are.
Yeah.
Who? How could that be?
I know, right?
So, we have got a number of shout-outs to do.
First one is something that we promised our Patreons on Patreon. If you backed us, we will give you a shout out. So, lovely people, thank you for being our patrons. Alicia, Cedar Wimp, Menigello, Christian Buchanan, Cricket, Danny Davis, Daya Luna, Ella Chapman, Francis Sass, Ian Holmes, Looking Alive for a Corpse, Michael Mullen, Mason Reason, Peter Ong, Philip Rogers, Rob Howell, Roglor Smash, Samuel Hancock, Cyril Powell, and the Ghost Bat. So
Aha, goes.
19 people so far.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You are blowing us out of the water with this. We're still struggling to keep our goals, and well, we fulfilled the first one.
So-
shout outs to our
so-
patrons.
Yes,
Thanks.
I think as we said, we are working now because we put a set of goals up that we were thinking, oh, we might meet them next year or whatever, and we met them within about 12 hours or something. So some of these goals are already underway, and one of them, arguably, I would say the most important, has already been fulfilled. I'm going to hand you over to Phil to talk a little bit more about that.
Well, you know they say it's a lie, but in this case, it's the truth.
Yes.
See, every time you talk about it on the internet, it's usually a lie.
A lie.
But not today.
Call it a lie. Because I know a very fine confectioner who loves cakes, Phoebe's Cupcakes, which I believe they should be posting a link to her Facebook page in chat now. And honestly, this is Phoebe is someone who just loves cakes. She is an excellent cake maker. And here,
We've got some pictures that we can put onto.
We will be posting pictures
Later.
both before and after pictures.
Also smells delicious.
That smell, you know, there's a certain. You see, this is actually cleansing my Plucky Jake palate right now. It's what I needed.
See how it's only Fucky Jake, but Moses tastes like cinnamon.
so
Yeah.
not only
In comparison,
not
he
only
does.
has the base of the cake got a rather blood spatter look,
Yeah,
which
bloods.
is amazing. We also have our logo on top, as well as a microphone, camera, and a computer for representing all of our lovely tech goals. We have the Nosferatu, the Gangle, and the Malkavian symbol on the front.
And those sneaky
Tremere on the
Tremere.
side, but as well as we have the Ankh for our wonderful storyteller on the side as well. So yes, that was done, and all this is edible. Made with the art done with an edible printer. Which is delicious. And I'm gonna be.
We decided not to eat it on camera to avoid making a mess of ourselves.
We were a bit worried as well that you just wouldn't be any rest of the stream. There'd just be us going, that's really nice, you know.
So we will take pictures of us
We will
doing
take
that later.
pictures, and yes.
I am going to be covered in cake because I am certain this is going to blow my mind cake-wise, and I'm going to put it away now because otherwise I'm going to lose willpower.
So I have a question. When you say edible printer, is the printer itself edible?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's how it works.
Probably.
Edible printer produces edible ink. It's great.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine is blown.
Yes. I am losing. To put this away, I am losing willpower. So
Check her out on her link.
yes.
So
please.
awesome work.
Yes, please. Because if you can like and share her page, of
Yeah,
course.
like and share.
Yes, please.
Give us someone because she's absolutely wonderful convention. Actually,
Much love.
cakes are wonderful.
There are obviously several other goals that we've met thanks to your support, and we are working towards them, and more updates coming on them soon. But there is another exciting thing that we want to remind you about, and I'm going to hand over to Titus for that one.
Hello.
This is mine now.
That I've left. You say that. So, you guys will recall from when we had episode 29 that we are doing a giveaway, which we announced when we announced Patreon. And I will remind you all, now that I've got the details, waywardleather.com. The details are also, if my notes would stop vanishing, is also at wayward_leather on Twitter and at Wayward Leather Design on Instagram and Facebook. Did this awesome monster box.
Mimic.
It smells so amazing. It does actually. It's like, along with dice bag with the icon and some awesome stickers that we've got to give away. The details, if you are on Patreon, then you get votes. Not votes. You get bids.
Entries.
Tickets.
An entry
Tickets.
to the raffle.
Yeah, words escape me. It's a good thing that my role in this doesn't rely on my words.
It is good.
And when you refer someone to Patreon and then they let us know that you are the one that referred them, you and the new person also get bits. So at the end of that, at the start of the new book, we're obviously going to be taking out from that and then seeing who wins the awesome box. So that is how you want to do that. Again, please look out for Wayward Leather. Amazing work. follow all the aforementioned links to check out more. So, is there?
Do we have anything else?
Do we have anything else? I don't think we do.
I think we covered it all.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the cake over there because my
Yeah, exactly. The cake is far away.
Are there any
Shout out our patrons.
burning
Yeah, we have
questions? Any burning questions from chat?
Any questions from chat?
I was supposed to take any questions.
Our lovely technicals are looking at each other.
There's a sort of shifty,
Confounded.
guilty thing going
Confounded.
on.
If you have any questions, guys, please re-ask them because
I think the tech goals are.
they were too distracted by the cake.
Yeah.
So this cake is not a lie.
Obviously, we don't feed the tech ghouls very often, so it's a bit
Yeah.
cruel to bring out cake when
They will not get much of that cake.
Yeah, we only let them out on a leash every now and again.
Yeah.
Only on Mondays.
So I'm going to say probably not for now.
Okay. Ask about the petition. What petition? What petition?
It's a petition that Gideon gets a hug.
Can we pass out those links, guys?
There's a petition to hit
For the Wayward Leather one.
Yeah.
They're in the Mortal World
Yeah.
Discord
so,
chat.
Yeah.
Just scroll up until you see the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
do we have a petition for giving Gideon a hug?
Yes, we do.
Is
Yeah,
there a
we-
petition for a certain individual to give Gideon a hug?
Oh.
Or is it for Plucky Jake to kiss him?
Right, listen, if anyone tries to hug Gideon, use social combat the fuck out of them.
I will.
Good.
What happens when he loses?
Then you start using the disciplines.
Okay. Awesome. You'll see the first bit of blood in this new court.
The first person who approaches you to give you a hug
Jacqueline.
is Jacqueline the constable. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fuck you! I'm gonna hug her.
She's allowed.
She's allowed.
She's the hand of God.
Yeah.
So holy hugs are acceptable. Otherwise.
So Moses might get away with it. Moses might get away with it.
Holy hugs.
No,
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna away with it.
Mine are more like, oh, holy. Like, hell no.
Yeah, so we got the links coming in now, guys. Please do check out and support because
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Amazing stuff. Like,
So,
I think
no
that,
questions
I
incoming?
think then we don't have any questions, so thank you very much
Thank
to
you.
our patrons.
and
Spread the word if you want to win the Mimic Box.
yes.
Yes.
I'm feeling a strange compulsion creeping over me. I think Mitch might be using his disciplines. So join our Discord. Join our Discord.
Oh, wow.
Join Discord.
Join the Discord. So, leaping straight back in.
Jumping back.
So, Danielle's moved off. I think I just got told off by the Dylan. I'm sorry.
What the fuck was that?
I was trying to move the mic. I'm sorry. So, see, it does happen. I do get scolded. Just not very often. Someone's not coming out on a leash for a while. So,
Yes.
that just got weird. So, Danielle's moved off.
Yeah.
And left you to largely to your own devices. Moses has moved off on his own as well. What do you guys plan on doing? There's not going to be too much longer that you're aware of until the kind start coming in.
Do you want to take our leave? And
Yes, I've just got a couple of very quick things to do, and then I will absolutely be ready to call this a night. Absolutely.
Monday?
So I don't need to make kind of big scenes unless you want to, but I will obviously want to congratulate Sabine.
Okay.
I will want to warn Katia about perhaps not leaving through the front, or at least, leaving discreetly, because I don't know that Mo's already done it. And I also will, at some point, want to give Marcus his hamper.
Okay. And you two?
I will just hang around until such a time as to either they're gonna start letting the kind come in, which I believe would be the time in which the constable would want to leave. So I'm gonna see if anything, if Jacqueline's gonna do anything, and if I have a chance to at least introduce myself to the Keeper of Elysium. And if not, I will just let Gideon know that Nosferatus in crowds don't mix very well I could use my disciplines, but unless I'm needed, I would be going to my place.
Okay. And Jim?
Jim's going to kind of sort of slowly look around, try and figure out, not really actively searching, just more looking around to see if there is a back way out of here. If it's only one way in and out, or if there are.
There are fire exits as well to get out.
Yeah.
There are ways in and out, but the main one is obviously out the front.
Yeah.
They're all illuminate. You can
Yeah.
tell which ways are the exits. There's one's on the main dance floor, one of the side rooms as well. There's one in the back area, which is where you're lingering around. But the actual area where the Keeper of Elysium seems to be and where the constable's gone is the private office. So unless you're going to go straight up in.
Well, if there is like a waiting area around, or like a balcony, or people around there, I just walk around that area.
Okay.
As long as I can have like a good look at the door and see people coming in and out, if they're coming in and out.
Okay. So you managed to go over and speak to Sabine and Katia, and they let you know obviously that they're aware, but they also, well, Katia rather, lets you know, obviously be prudent in how you're going to conduct yourself for a little while, especially if you've got someone sniffing around.
Yes.
Sabine gives you a bit more small talk. It shows you to one or two other people until you make your way free.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing your checks. You manage to locate where the exits are. They're not difficult to find.
Yeah.
And you linger around and keep an eye out towards the back area. You do not see anyone that would suggest that the Keeper of Elysium come out.
Okay.
There are one or two kindred that go in. And when the bulk of them are coming out, they're followed by the constable.
Okay. Just walk. I step in toe, unless she gives me a look that says no.
She's doing a button-up jacket as she moves past, and Gideon moves up and speaks to her, and she listens and then nods, and then Gideon pulls on a coat and starts making his way towards the exit. And
yeah, I'm following them. So it's like if she's doing her exit, yeah, I'm in there walking behind.
She says nothing as you walk with her. She does acknowledge you as you move off, and then as she's getting towards the door, she stops and looks at you. How was your evening?
It was good. Some people congratulated me. Others laughed, but they all acknowledged that I'm a hound now. So that helps, right?
She is still speaking in French. Since that night, she hasn't spoken to you in English again.
No.
But she is taking care to speak slower. But she doesn't.
As long as you use easy words for me to understand, like the.
She is to a degree. You get the feeling that she's slowly trying to tempt you into, as patiently as she can, to learning, because obviously she doesn't relish speaking English. Mm-hmm. So it's a case of you have to adapt quickly and learn it, otherwise.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. Like me learning French, it's gonna be a lot easier than her.
Yeah.
Giving in and speaking. Like
yeah, she's not. Yeah. So
not gonna happen.
You are free for the evening.
Hmm?
You are free for the evening.
Yeah, for the time being, yes, absolutely.
No, I am telling you, you are free for the evening.
Sorry, lost in translation. Okay, thank you. Well, you know how to find me. The phone. I looked to Gideon and it's like, oh, you know where to find me. Good night.
She does up the collar and steps out, and Gideon pulls out an umbrella that he has, and as they step out, opens it and then holds it over her, and they just start walking off.
And I take my phone and send a text to these guys and Katya. I got the rest of the night out, going home.
Do I get that text? Do I notice it?
I'm assuming all your phones are going to be on vibrate if you know you're going into a noisy club.
Yeah.
I'm going to text back. Wait for me.
Okay. I text them where I am.
Okay. So are you all going to meet?
Yeah, I'll link up as well.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before you leave?
Do I think that Katia is staying with Sabine for the night? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're too busy integrating themselves, it seems.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go find Moses with Jim.
Yeah, I told him to. It's like I'm ready to go. If you're gonna look for your car or whatever, you can. It would be easier if you could like drive by that street, so I can jump in the car instead of me.
Yes.
So
I think it will be a good idea if we make sure you get back, safely together.
Yep.
okay, cool.
Um,
I try to while they go look for the car and everything. I try to look for Plucky Jake.
Okay.
Oh, we go. Both new doors. Right? That's next to that way. That's next to that way.
I'll leave them to sort it out. I
yes, because
trust them to fuck it
we
up.
don't want to be seen by.
Nope.
No, so let's try and be careful. So one last thing, I forget to mention this, and it's not that I wanted to say anything specific, but he would have, if there was time, gone and spent some time with Danielle, just because
Yeah, sure.
she was like, spend time with you want. It's like, no, stuff you. So no, he would have done that. Oh, did he get a chance to give Marcus the hamper?
Yes. Marcus takes it in his normal, gracious way.
Awesome.
As he does accept it from you, there is a moment where he kind of looks from you to the toilet and then back. He says nothing. Has a smile on his face. A weary smile.
Yeah.
But he accepts the hamper.
Fine. That's all we can hope for. And so I'll go with Jim. So we're going to try, essentially, to avoid being seen by Richard Whitman, and get a car and then go and pick up Moses, etc., etc. But we're not leaving the front end.
Okay. We will say we'll see Dex plus Stealth plus 2 for whoever's rolling.
Who is leading?
Normally this would be individually done, but to save time, I'll have one roll.
Are you asking Benjamin to kind of go first and watch, or is Jim going? What's the?
But before you roll this, I will do your lucky Jake bit.
I'll make the roll.
Okay.
Do you want me to? I'll make one.
So roll, but don't tell me the results yet. Kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's a willpower.
You never know.
That's a willpower. I'm not risking that after the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you including that
Yeah,
into
yeah.
your reroll?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's.
Oh, he's
gambling high.
Oh my
rather
god,
than
he's
low.
going Texas Hold'em
I mean-
style.
He is going Texas Hold'em style.
You okay to risk it or not?
Don't look at me.
You.
You know, okay. No.
Oh!
Okay, keep that where they fell. So,
So you go back to Plucky Jake. He's like,
yeah.
Just tell me when and where. I've been given the rest of the night off, so just going back to my domain to sort out shit with my coterie members.
Or as soon as this place kicks out, I'm gonna go and deal with it. I've already forewarned the prince that it's happening tonight.
Oh, cool. So where do I meet you when?
I'll come get you.
Okay, I'll be in my haven in my domain.
You mean your communal one or one of your piss out ones?
No, the communal one.
Right. Okay. I'll go pick you up.
Cool. And just wait for them to tell you what happened.
7 successes.
7.
Messy crit. Oh, that smile is fucking terrifying.
Messy critical.
Yep.
I mean, it was absolutely a beautiful stealth roll.
Yeah.
7 successes is hard to beat.
The thing is, I'm on 3 hunger.
Oh,
You're on what hunger?
I'm on 3 hunger.
Okay. What to do? I will figure this out. Okay.
I can see the wheels turning. It's fucking terrifying.
Okay. I got an idea. It's not going to become immediately evident. However, you managed to slink away using Jim's direction and Jim's prompting. You managed to slip around. Oh, actually, whether or not you do or not, I haven't actually rolled yet.
Yeah, he might get a critical win.
Maybe it's that.
But I imagine his ability to notice things is quite high. Being an obsessed police officer.
Concerned father.
So,
Yeah.
you begin moving off and around, slipping in between the cars are the pedestrians come out. The line that's slowly forming up outside of Elysium, outside of Asylum, sorry, and you're making your way out. And as far as you're aware, he's not seen. He hasn't left where you've spotted him. He's watching the line. He hasn't moved to join it. He hasn't moved to intercept you guys if he has noticed. So before too long, you managed to get away.
I'm assuming, but also when he saw me that other time, he was very overtly staring, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay.
So, you managed to slip away, and I need to make a note.
So yeah, we're going to go pick Moses up. Just worth, I think, because whether you guys care about this kind of thing, but obviously my car is different. Just to the usual Benmobile.
Okay.
It's still a sensible car, obviously. It's just a different sensible car.
Apart from someone's removed the seatbelts.
Oh, monster!
So,
Fury frenzy immediately.
I'd make you roll.
Compulsion domination.
So, you managed to make your way back towards this new Benjamin car,
Yeah.
the Benmobile. And what are you doing, guys? Where are you going?
I probably don't go into it because I don't recognize it until I see them in the.
Yeah.
Okay, so they climb in.
Oh. And then wait for them to just. I text them, it's like round that corner or whatever.
Yeah.
So small place in which I can just jump in the back seat because I assume he's on the passenger seat. I can jump in the back seat and lay down. So that's what I do.
I go. How do you feel about a guy out hunt? I'm a little peckish. Still slowly healing.
Well, we can try it on the domain. Now that it's sort of court's done, our official domain is slightly bigger.
Oh, that's useful.
Yes. Well, given everything that's happened, I suppose. Well, I think it's definitely sensible to curb that hunger now rather than let it get worse.
Also, I have to show everyone where the limits of the expansion lie, because also that's the area we're gonna be putting the security cameras in.
Yep.
Like
Yes, right,
sort of
right.
extending
Well, so that will be quite useful. then.
surveillance. There are a few streets that we're not very familiar with, so we should.
Right.
Yeah, I'll need to. I might be partially familiar with them, but I'll make sure to include them in the
Yeah.
rules.
Right. Right.
About what time is it now?
About
Midnight.
yeah. Well, no, it's
past,
probably approaching about 1 o'clock in the morning. It wouldn't have been more than about 2 hours to conclude the prince's business. And 1 o'clock in the morning is a good turnout time for people to start coming in, spend a few hours there, and then spread the word. So 1 o'clock is slightly later than what most people would assume would be the open time for kind, but they've just advertised it as from 10 until 1 is like VIP. Yeah, which has actually had a good effect in making sure everyone wants to show up. So, yeah, so it's probably about 1ish.
So, do you want to take your more style route, Moses?
Well, yeah.
I mean, it would make sense to do. I mean, most sensible people would be in bed by now, I would think.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it's over 1 in the morning, I think we're gonna sandman it, and I'm gonna be just helping Jim, leading the charge
In your territory?
in our domain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will. I'll give you dice from me.
And I'll give you a dice from me.
So you'll be rolling against the new lower difficulty.
That sounds so good. Oh, we did rouse checks for the night. It's the same night.
Yeah.
right?
Same night.
I was like, no, it cannot be. Okay. So it is going to be what plus what? Dexterity
Plus
It's dexterity,
Dexterity
stealth,
plus
plus
stealth,
specialty,
stealth.
plus 2.
Plus specialty plus
Two.
2.
get a messy crit.
Sorry?
Get a messy crit.
Usually. Only.
Is that cocked?
Well, yeah, this one is cocked. Let's first. Let's. Okay, it's again like in the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can willpower it.
You don't need to.
We don't
4
need
is
to.
your new.
4 is the new difficulty.
4 successes.
Okay. So it doesn't take you too long. I mean, you go well. I say it doesn't take too long.
That's so. It feels so good.
Isn't it wonderful? So actually, this might be the point to say that one of the things that the coterie spent XP on over the downtime was finding ways to expand the borders.
Our chassis.
Through a sort of combination of our rising social status, some little places around the edges of the domain that weren't quite claimed by anyone else.
That you know of.
That we know of. Well, we'll find out. So yeah, there was a bit of effort.
This is mine. No, this is mine. This is mine. No, this is mine.
So yes. So
Yeah, we've been edging, skanking a little bit of territory every little time, and then after the attacks of the Sabbat, and
a few less vampires.
Yeah, and when you consider that the makeup of the coterie is now a little bit more recognized, or they have a little bit more more recognition and status and
a bit
standing.
more impressive. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's totally being a hound comes with privileges. No, it isn't.
So, yeah, you by venturing into this whether it's predetermined or something that you're kind of working out in your own head about what is realistic in terms of grasping territory, because you're well aware that it's very easy for you to start something that is going to take years and years and years to come to fruition. Just by taking the wrong street. It is not something you do on a whim. It's not a this is mine, this is mine, that's mine type thing. It's coordinated, and you do manage to get a rough idea of where you want to go, what's realistic to take, and what you know hasn't been touched by other kindred. And whilst you're showing your coterie mates the extents of this, you do manage to find a window which is partially ajar. Even though there is rain and it is damp, it's humid, and someone's obviously cracked a window in order to better allow themselves to keep cool. And you manage to go in through the window, and it's with Moses' help you manage to get in, Jim, and feed on the
Leave him. I'm a hunger one. I'm happy.
Some way.
on the teenage couple that's in there. So how much are you taking?
I will take 2.
2. Okay.
Lick the wounds. And sleep.
So you will get intense choleric humor.
Whoa.
Okay.
And then you manage to get out again without making any noise.
So when we're done and probably driving back to the crossed hands, I'll say I'm a little bit worried that that this police officer, Mr. Whitman, might have set up some kind of surveillance on the crossed hands, or might go back there when he realises that we're not there. And well, just how we're going to manage that, because, well,
Actually, I should check if he has been anywhere near the cross hands. I haven't even gone near any of the security footage.
I think that would be wise to.
Let's fix the security, at least the internal one in my room.
I just don't like the idea of someone watching who's going in and out and who we know and all that business with someone with his kind of background. It makes me very uneasy. And
Let me check if anyone has been doing anything weird on the tunnels. I haven't been here.
well, no, not with all of the other business. None of us really wanted to get slapped about.
See you in my room. Just
Yes,
go there.
all
See
right.
in my room. I go into the tunnel system into ask them to drop me into the closest entry to the tunnels. Like there are probably not that many, but just pick one, drop me there, and I go checking everything's
When
alright.
I drop you, I'll say, Jim, would you mind going with Moses this way, and then I'll meet you at the crossed hands.
Can I do that?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
All right.
Better if you just show up on your own instead of two people.
Yeah, yes, and also that way, if anything was to occur in the tunnels, at least there'd be two of you, to.
Yeah, it's
To face it.
less likely to happen in above ground.
Yes, exactly. You'll be safer in company, I think.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so
As we start, we're after a couple of minutes walking down and go. You're not the only person who kissed him.
Of course, I know I'm not the only person who kissed him.
You wish Plucky Jake had the honors.
Oh, I figured when Plucky Jake asked me to kiss him.
From what I understand, it was a full-blown make-out with Plucky Jake, and the look on Ben's face. Oh my god! Oh my god! I think if I was still mortal, I would have cracked a rib.
Oh my god!
Yes.
No, I just was having a conversation with Plucky Jake. He just, I mean, he's my Primogen. Not a lot of I can do, especially if I am, being told to do something. So yeah.
Yeah,
So I figured, and it's.
his
That's probably the reason he had all those Tic Tacs in his mouth, though.
I'm guessing so. We'll have to ask him who tastes better, won't we?
Probably me. Younger.
Yeah.
Plucky Jake is more like a vintage thing. An acquired taste, probably. And we're like checking around. Like I stop at every so often to see if everything's alright. Voluntarily try to inhale to see if there's any odder than usual smells or gas leaks or whatever. A little paranoia after the Shin Shin Kaboom Bang on Michael Chase's flat.
no, seems fine.
But would have a time during the downtime too, as well as get a new lock for his door.
Yeah, it's not expensive to get a lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
as-
probably something that's done in sorted.
As well as the way I go. Alright, here's a key for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I didn't have keys to my own room.
Yeah. That's your new key.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
So you're going through the sewers.
Sorry?
Are you still going through
The tunnels. We're gonna go into the Pertilion, not the sewers.
Okay, so
we're gonna use
the subway tunnels.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's tunnels, not sewers.
Roll wits plus awareness for me.
Both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the special instinct, or would that not apply? No, that's wrong die. So that's yeah.
5 successes.
3.
You can hear the sound of like high-pitched whine of metal, almost like a train is coming to a stop.
No, we're not. No, we're not that close to any of the lines.
Do you want to quietly check that
So,
out?
no, I go like. Hear that? I go into the shadows, just into a corner, obfuscate. Just in case.
I'm gonna flick off torchlight we got.
Without going hungry. Unseen passage.
Okay. You step around the corner, and you can see the train is pulled up to the stop. Doors are open.
This is supposed to be like the old long way, abandoned substation. Like that, I'm thinking to myself, like, I just walk a little closer to see if there's any of the Nosferatu. Is this the Plucky Jake train taking me to? So I start walking closer.
There are 8 people that you can see sat in the train.
Do I recognize any of them? Well, I woke back and whispered to his ear, there's a train with 8 people. Just come and check. And I go back with him, but I'm still obfuscated.
And I'm gonna quietly move up to try and see what.
Okay, you sneaking up.
Yeah, I'm sneaking up.
Dex plus stealth.
I just walk until all the way to the. Are they any close to the actual entrance to the main, or are they just in the line that is very near? Because that's the one we use. The exit.
Yeah, the
to
one that you're closest to.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
willpower.
E3.
I knew this diagram would be useful. So this is us, and this is this line is not that far off. It's sort of close.
Okay, so you sneak closer. You're not sure how. No one appears to react inside. The 8 individuals just look like various individuals, but they're all just sat.
No one's talking. No one's chatting. No one's nothing.
Can I smell if they're human or not?
Sure. Wits plus awareness instinct does apply.
So would the bloodhound trait add to that, or
Yes.
so that's an extra die for that, I think, or that's awareness. What's that? Yes.
Man, your luck's out tonight.
Dude.
Seriously?
Dude, that is
I think it's 2.
super unlucky.
2?
2.
They seem to be. They don't. They smell like kind.
Smell like kind.
I go all the way to the train. Since the doors are open, I just walk in. Of course, I'm not making a huge ruckus. Because I'm just obfuscated walking in,
I knew that.
so I can have
Slipping up as quiet as I can.
a good look.
What, to the train?
Yeah, guess so.
And I look around to see if I see anything noticeable, mannerisms or anything.
Okay,
from
your clash of wills. Roll it for me.
My what?
For obfuscate.
Oh, that is wits plus obfuscate against.
Yeah, I know my fault. Just roll
okay.
yours.
Cool.
Holy fuck. That's a fool.
That is a lousy roll,
You will power.
but I will willpower it. Because this is the most disgustingly awful roll ever. For
Especially
such
with
a
that pool.
for such a massive
pool.
pool.
Yeah.
So that is only 4 successes.
Okay. What are you doing?
How
How far have you gone?
I'm moving slowly up closer, so if he's walking straight in, I'll probably be. I wouldn't be quite behind him, although I wouldn't know that. So I'm just stepping up.
So are you on the train or are you on the platform?
No, he's probably on the platform,
Probably still above.
a bit removed, because he has to sneak up to a point. I can walk obfuscated, but if he walks
Okay.
out of the corner,
So
he's very likely to be taken, to be seen.
So you step on to the train. And you start stepping up towards the doors. And just as you're approaching them, the doors.
Can I get him before he?
You can try.
Yeah.
Dex plus athletics.
No, that's a bit better. 5.
Okay.
Nice.
The moment you see start to move in, you slide in, catch the tail end of your jacket, and yank it free. The last few moments, as the doors stop, and then you feel the rumble as the train car starts moving off.
Anyone reacts to him jumping in?
Nope, they're looking at you.
All of them
Every single one of
in
them.
unison?
Turn their heads and just stare at you. They're all just sat against the side, and they look at you, and then
Hi,
every one of them, in time, smiles.
how are you?
Oh fuck.
Short time no see.
Good evening, Moses.
Hi. Everything alright?
We are well, thank you.
I'm glad. What brings you to my neck of the woods?
We ask a favor, Moses.
Another one?
Yes.
Okay.
We have something that might have been an interest to a member of your group.
Okay. I'm listening.
How much do you know about your companions? And they look slowly over to you and then slowly back. Again, there's that unnerving sense where every single one of them is doing everything in unison. Otherwise, they're not moving. They are perfectly still.
Not enough as I would like. And also, I have something that might interest you. Well,
We are curious.
it's not that I have something. It's that I think that I have some access to something. But let's talk about this. Are we going to your place or are we
No.
talking here?
We are ensuring neutral territory
Okay, so where is that?
on this train. And they all slowly look down the length of the train. There is no one driving the train.
Okay, and where does this train go?
Go. We haven't moved, Moses.
I felt it move.
You are very clearly moving.
Where are we going?
We haven't moved, Moses.
Where is the train going? Where is the ground going? Where is everything going?
We haven't moved, Moses.
That doesn't answer my question. Why does it feel like we are moving, or the earth around
You
us?
have a member of your coterie, I believe is the word you use. Katia Stern.
What about her?
She is of interest to us, and we wish to arrange a meeting.
Well, she's of interest to a lot of people.
Particular to us.
Okay.
And we have something that might interest her.
Which would be
What is it?
An escapee of sorts.
Escapee. What is that? Like someone who escaped, yeah, but
How much do you know about gargoyles?
wait a second. You're telling me they are also true? Like Hunchback of Notre Dame stuff?
Are you growling at them?
I just low growl.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but if are they weren't they like architecture pieces on old buildings and stuff?
We have one.
Oh.
We believe it belongs to her and her kin.
Well, she has never mentioned one, and all the time we've been living
It
together.
won't belong to her personally.
Okay. So to a friend of hers or someone from her. Oh, yes. We need to have a conversation in which I answer a couple of your questions and you answer a couple of mine, because you were asking about us being grouped in some sort of tribes and stuff, right? It happens sometime. So,
Ask your question, Moses. We are all ears.
what can you find out
About.
what a person knows?
Their smile widens very minutely. With the proper incentive, Moses, there's no limits to what we can learn.
Can you find people?
Yes. We found you, did we not?
Yeah, but I'm your neighbor. Not that difficult.
You'd be surprised.
I will have a very, very interesting offer to make you. Very, very juicy, very good. But I need to run it by, let's call it my boss, my superiors, however you want to call it. We have a structure. There's a hierarchy, okay? And in order for me to get my hands on this, that will be insanely interesting to you, trust me. I think if I can manage to get their approval, it'll happen. And then I will ask a few favors. Because this is a more than one favor kind of thing.
We'll certainly evaluate the worth
Oh
of
yeah,
the favor.
of course. Regarding the gargoyle thingy, I will let Katya know. Maybe she knows somebody who lost a gargoyle. How big are they?
Substantial. It barely fits on the gurney.
Wow. That's a big gargoyle.
Very durable.
Are we talking about the same, like hunch, wings, ugly teeth, fangs and stuff?
You are also asking after us, Moses, which is the primary reason that we've come.
Yeah, because I had an idea of a deal.
We see.
But now, after tonight, some things have moved, some people have changed, some stuff has happened, and now I need to ask other people about other business. That's why I haven't come and say hi. Although I have a couple of questions, but just out of curiosity. Mosley Hospital, is that part of your grounds as well?
When we use it, yes.
But is that not a part of your territory?
The concept of territory to us is different than yours.
Okay. So,
That is territory in the sense that we use it.
what's the sense in which you use it?
If that is something that you are looking to expand into, Moses, that is agreeable to us. However, should our access to this area be restricted in any way, we will contest you for it.
Oh yeah, no need for contest. It's useful to have an area in which people go in and out.
It will be most beneficial to see you at work.
Yeah, absolutely. That is exactly what I was going for. Actually, no, I was looking for a morgue for future occasions. That'll come tied with the sweet, juicy deal I'm about to offer you.
We are all ears, Moses.
Let me talk to my superiors. But I'm not even supposed to talk about it fully, but there is something. And that I can say. So, Mosley Hospital. Do they have a functioning morgue or an area that in which they can dispose of biological waste? Like a furnace? And things like that?
They all nod.
And then I think I will write down my proposal after I get the approval. Is that agreeable?
It is.
And leave with the certainty that I will notify Katya that you have a gargoyle and then someone is lost the gargoyle, so I will try to make arrangements. Again, tonight things
Help
changed.
prove the validity of our statement. Pass on the name Needles.
Needles. I see needles.
That is the name that it cried.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
How are you feeling, Jim?
A little hurt, but otherwise okay.
You are feeding sufficiently.
Yes, why are you asking?
Curiosity.
Killed the cat.
That almost sounds like a threat.
It isn't. It isn't. He feels a little bit
Satisfaction.
uncomfortable on ground. He's an above ground kind of creature. So he's a little skittish.
That is why we prefer to have these meetings above ground.
Yeah, but I'm an underground kind of creature, so I'm happy here. See? I'm smiling. Just like
They all in unison look towards the windows and then look back. Yes, underground.
so.
Are we still underground?
Yes. Apparently.
Apparently, like okay. Well, I think that's it. I need to tell Katya that you have a message for her. Things have changed in our structure. That's why getting a hold of her is not going to be super easy. But I will let her know probably tonight that I need to have a word with her. Okay? Is that agreeable?
That is most agreeable.
Glad. Do I ever feel that we're like stopping or anything?
You're still on the station platform.
I just step out and I wave goodbye.
Nice. Step out.
They all watch you, and then in unison turn and just stare at each other, and then the train takes off.
They're scary.
Yeah. I gotta make a call. Get the tunnels.
I gotta call Katya. Let's go. Probably Benjamin. I mean, we've been talking for a while. I check if I have any calls or messages from Benjamin. He must have gotten home, gone to my room, find it locked, knocked, had no one, texted. It's been like I believe it like was a long time. I don't know.
Okay, so I'll cut that to you. Depending on how much time we got. What's Benjamin doing before I leap back to Moses?
So he will go back to the crossed hands, but again, I don't think he's just going to park right by the crossed hands. He's going to park a little way away. He's going to be a little circumspect in his approach because he was warned about, Amelia obviously warned him about Whitman. So he's going to be half expecting either Whitman or someone else to be maybe watching the crossed hands to see who's coming and going. So he'll want to approach to be able to see if someone is observing the crossed hands from somewhere that is, not well lit, if you like. As in, for Benjamin to be somewhere not well lit, so he can kind of observe to see if anyone is there. And if he gets even the sniff that there's someone there, then he won't be going into crossed hands.
Okay, wits plus awareness.
I will be using all specs.
Oh, resolve plus awareness plus all specs.
That sounds like my favourite roll of the game.
Oh God.
Whoa.
So resolve.
Like, this is the moment in which we roll our disgusting pulls and
Awareness.
fail miserably. Like he's too successful.
Oh, that's true. Everyone else has been rolling abominably. Oh, hello.
And no,
Yep.
and no, you too.
No, it's all right.
It's
Four
four.
successes.
Given the size of the pool.
It's my best pull. 4 successes.
Fuck, that's a pull.
Yeah, we've it's one. It's
4
been-
successes is still good.
It's good. It's good.
Okay. So you're making your approach, your subtle approach.
Yeah.
There is someone that you do note that's watching the crossed hands.
Yes.
Sat at the bus stop, or seemingly sat at the bus stop. There's a number of buses which pull past, and he doesn't even look at the numbers, which is the clear indicator to you that he's not waiting. It's a young lad, and you do recognise him as the individual that was with Whitman.
Ah.
He's got his hands in his pockets, his leg is tapping as he's just observing.
Okay. So in that case, I will text both Jim and Moses to say front entrance is being watched. Be careful. And I will add an additional, and then send an additional text to Moses saying, call me. And after that, I will leave. I'm not going to the crossed hands at this point. I'm going to go probably back to see Amelia.
Okay.
Whenever I see that
Unless
text,
I get a call, obviously, immediately.
as soon as I get the text, I call.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi there. Everything all right? Who's watching the front entrance?
Do you remember there were 2 of them? I don't know if you saw, but there was a young lad.
No. Yes.
He's there. He's sitting out by the bus stop watching the entrance. So you should be careful. Are you all right?
Yes. Now I'm reconsidering again moving from the cross hands. If it's not ghosts, it's lupines. If it's not lupines, it's people. If not people, it's thin bloods. If it's not...
It does seem rather cursed from that point of view. I was going to say, are you all right? And what are your plans now?
Just having a sit down and thinking. I mean, we were supposed to talk about the situation on the cross hands, the new domain.
Yes. I would like to do all of those things, but I can't go in because obviously I'll be seen.
Yeah. No, and I also heard from Pocky Jake. He's gonna be picking me up at some point during the evening.
Right. Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Probably the Warrens here, the London Warrens. I mean, it's Nosferatu business. Apparently, there is like some sort of gathering. Like, don't you have like clan meetings?
Not really. Look,
Boring.
I don't know if I should say something or not. And everything was fine on the way back. Jim was with you and everything was fine.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's good. But you're going out again, and are you travelling alone?
No. I'm going with Lucky Jape and some other Nosferatus.
I think you should be very careful.
I always am.
No, I mean especially careful. And I would if it wasn't
watched for something. You saw something. You saw the monster again tearing my head out, right?
No, it's not quite like that. But I think I'm worried that something bad's going to happen to you. It's a little like that, I suppose. I didn't see anything, but it is a little like that.
Every day is gonna be like that.
No, but this is specific. This is specific, and I would say I'd like to come with you, and maybe you should take Jim too. I'm just not sure because, well, I haven't really talked to you about it, but
it's not gonna fly with it. No. This is a clan thing.
Yes, and I really don't think I should be with your clan right now. So what I'm just going to say, be especially careful, and can you let me know when you get back?
Yeah, sure.
And
absolutely.
All right, and
cool.
You know, and maybe don't be alone for a little while. You know,
okay.
so stay with Jim until you do this other thing, and if you're going to travel, maybe don't travel alone. And I don't mind going with you and then dropping you off somewhere.
Ben.
Yes.
Calm down. I got this.
All right.
Cheers.
So,
Just in case, because it freaked me out, I got the gun.
Okay.
The gun, the magazine, my brass knuckles. And every time this happens, it's useful to have a laptop on me. I don't know why, I don't know how, so I grab a laptop and a modem cable. And just in case.
And as you're poking your head out, a mini pulls up in front of the...
Or near the station, or I hear the engine. So he's like, okay, I think I've been picked up. So, see you later.
yeah.
And I grab my stuff and go there. See, I wanted a dirt bike. These guys have a mini. So I go to the mini. Who's driving the mini?
Lucky Jake?
Oh, cool. I just jump in. Anyone else in the mini?
No.
Okay, I just jump in.
There's a pile of folded fabrics in the back that looks like it's like covered over something. Other than that, no one else in the mini.
And they go like, Rusty Joe?
Among other things.
Ah, okay. Cool.
So,
And
how
I
much
buckle
have
up.
you educated yourself recently, Moses,
What do you mean?
about our glorious sect?
The Camarilla?
Well, you're a hound now. You're expected to know titles.
I've been, yeah. Well, Gideon seems to be big on the basic stuff, like, well, the proper titles for us, but
Run me through the titles you know.
oh, top to bottom, bottom to top. Let's go. We have the prince, and
He's pulled away.
yeah, we have the prince, and we have the council of Primogen. We have the keepers of Elysium, the constable, which we call sheriff. We have the harpies, who take care of stuff in Elysium usually, and social stuff. Were you talking official, like, titles of office, or just things like
Official titles of office, not necessarily segregated to a city.
Oh, you're talking about higher up, like Justicar level, like the architects.
Use them as a break point.
Yes, it'll be
He
architects.
runs a red light.
Yeah, but it's a red light for a train. Where do we know? You are not in that car.
No.
Like Benjamin was so pissed. You have the Archons, and then you have the Justicar, and there was something that they mentioned of a circle, or something or another.
The inner circle.
That one.
They're the only positions you know.
I'm trying to remember all of them that I got from Gideon.
Those are the only ones he gave you, I think.
Yeah.
Did he tell you more?
I doubt it. If it was everything that was directly pertaining Camarilla.
Just in case, do an intelligence plus.
And intelligence.
Intelligence plus politics.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm a 2 success smarty pants.
No. Okay.
That's pretty much it.
So if I said the name Alistair to you, you wouldn't know what that is.
Is that a title or a person?
It's my title.
Alistair. No, I don't know what that is.
You're about to find out.
Is that like a I don't know, big boss of the Nosferatu or something? You're already a big boss of the Nosferatu.
There's a reason I'm the big boss of the Nosferatu. There's also a reason why I can't stand this Primogen bullshit.
Because it gets in the way of you being an Alistair.
In a way.
Ah. So what does an Alistair do?
There's a little bit of a list.
Well, yeah, it's like the Hound. Being a Hound is
It's nothing like being a hound.
I mean, it has a list. All of these positions have lists of things that you're supposed to do and things that you can do and things that you are...
Well, my list is a list of names of people that I'm supposed to bump off.
Oh.
For my glorious sect.
Yeah, I feel you.
Now, the guy we're gonna go and poke holes in is not on that list. His boss, the one he's obsessing over, is
Vehement.
on the list.
Who is Vehement?
Very old member of the Sabbat.
What? Just hear me out without clubbing me or rusty joing me. This is
No promises.
probably... What if I told you? There could be a way of finding out what he knows. Remember my neighbors from the south of my domain? I looked to have a conversations with them some months ago, and then again tonight of all nights. They showed up. We keep sort of like neutral grounds, and now that our territory is expanding, but they wanted a word. There is a possibility that they can help us extract information from this Alexander asshole. And if it involves the possibility of magically torturing the shit out of the guy, I want that badly. But these are magi. We will be giving them Sabbat scum. And they
Which
will...
is far more dangerous than I'm willing to take a risk on.
Why?
Because you just handed fucking kindred to Magi. I don't fucking trust Magi.
Neither do I. Do you trust the Sabbat?
Put enough pain on someone, you can trust people to be honest.
Well, I doubt the Magi had never had a chance to get their hands on a kindred.
Yeah, in exchange for what?
The information on his head.
I don't want them to have the information in his head.
Is this guy... This
He
guy-
works for someone on the red list.
Oh, I do know what that is.
Yeah, that's the list I gotta bump off.
Oh, interesting. Oh, well, again, it was just a thought. Now you know.
Well, it's worth knowing. However, after tonight, the idea is probably not gonna hold much weight. Just like his body when it's ash on my boot.
I looking forward to it, really. Since I'm gonna be sitting out and I'm gonna be getting in your way, could you tell him I said hi before he dies? Just so he knows.
Sure.
Thanks.
I'll let Rusty Joe do it for you. You don't talk, I don't see you. You make any moves, I'll kick the shit into you worse than I'll kick the shit into him.
Got it, boss. Vanish next to him. I just disappear.
Now I feel lonely. Keeps driving on. And that is where we're going to bring this to an end.
Ooh, he's gonna die! I shouldn't be that happy. I'm gonna die.
We're already dead.
I'm gonna re-die. It's time to redraw this.
Yes, it is.
So, thank you very much
Yeah.
to all of our patrons again.
Yes.
Yes, thank you guys.
I checked before we came, and we're $198 a month.
Yeah.
So
creeping towards the next goal.
The next, we're two.
Yeah.
I think it's $2 away from the next goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, you are just blowing us all away with your generosity and how much you're giving. I'm gonna cry. I'm probably gonna cry as we engage.
So now, for us here in Blood on the Thames, we are at the end of book 3, as you are all aware. We're gonna take a couple of weeks of a break. This is a work of love, but we also have to take care of other stuff, including all of those goals and milestones we have achieved thanks to you, that we need to sort out a way forwards to them. So we will just stay in touch. Join our Discord. That's where we're going to be posting information, social media, Twitter, videos on YouTube are going to, this one is going to air. Wait, for us, let's engage with the community.
Yep.
It's going to be a lonely couple of weeks without seeing each other, but it's okay. Our love for one another is going to rekindle in a couple of weeks' time when we come back with episode 31, book 4, in which we will come back with the raffle and the giveaway. So for the next 2 weeks, we will be, again, advertising heavily on the raffle. So remember, tell your friends, if they support us, they get their entry into the raffle, and you as well for referring a friend. So just make sure you contact Mitch on the Discord.
On the subject of the Discord, when the date yet, me and him need to speak about. But the first vote.
Oh, have you already done a vote?
I already know the vote hasn't happened yet, but I know what it's going to be.
Oh, okay, yeah, you already. Oh, you got it. Okay, cool.
So the first vote will happen once me and you have determined when. So if you want to be able to vote, you need to get your ass on Discord. Choose your clan, choose your allegiance. The votes.
She got serious.
Because it's sometimes not quite so obvious, and sometimes really obvious ways, your votes will impact things.
Just love us.
For example, the first vote, which one of them dies at the start?
Yeah. It's gonna be like reality TV. You get to vote someone off every week.
I think Malk is a bit on the head at the moment on the clans, aren't they?
Yeah, because they have a Primogen.
Yeah.
The Marks have a Primogen, but in terms of members, the Marks and the Tremere are equal.
I mean,
Really controversial.
I won't get too excited. I mean, given how the
Yes!
I mean,
Nazi love, what happened?
I know, right? I mean, given how the last few Malkavian Primogens have gone, I won't get too excited.
Come here. Love the Malkavians.
I have faith in our new Primogen
Yes.
on the Discord.
I believe in Edward Sinclair.
not the one.
No.
Hashtag I believe.
I think we've started calling the Discord Primogen Breadman Sinclair.
Breadman Sinclair.
Breadman.
I believe in Breadman.
Breadman.
I believe in Bradman.
Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it.
And just worth saying as well that there will be further updates on goals and other bits and bobs on the website every week and also on Patreon.
Yes. Excellent. So keep in touch with that, guys. Please do be in touch with us on our social media and stuff, especially during the break, so that we don't miss you too much, because that sucks. And and join us all again in full force, hopefully with a few new people and new faces for the start of book 4. On what date? Because I suck at dates.
There's a sudden flurry of...
I'm not the only one that sucks at dates, because everyone's like,
Everybody is on it. It's Monday the 1st of July.
Monday the 1st.
Easy to remember.
1st of July.
Yes, I know that date.
It's a Monday, and
Excellent.
it's after 2 weeks break. So yes.
So thank you very much for joining us, guys, and we will see you on the 1st of July. For
See you in book 4.
Book 4.
I don't know whether or not they're going to look at other things. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.